CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Hi once again, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome back to the NFL Today. Coming up here on CBS, it's the Dolphins against the Raiders, or the Jaguars taking on the Cardinals. Randy Moss is warming up to face the Dolphins. Moss needs 4 more touchdowns to reach the 100 mark for his NFL career. Meanwhile, out in the desert, Byron Leftwich of the Jaguars has tossed 15 touchdown passes this season. That equals his career high. He's suffered just 5 interceptions. We'll see you back here at halftime with all the scores and highlights. Coming up, it's game time on the NFL Today after this.
Super Bowl dreams till they all come true. One mind, one team, one heart, one player, get a hole, one goal from the start. To dominate the art of the black and blue. Watch the Super Bowl dreams till they all come true. One chance, one goal, one goal, one dream, finding moment to ignite your soul.
It's the NFL on CBS, live from McAfee Stadium in Oakland, California. Old-fashioned AFC rivalry today. The Raiders hosting the Miami Dolphins. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everyone. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. Oakland Raiders are trying to get themselves into the playoff conversation in the AFC. Norv Turner last week, an emotional return to Washington. They get the win over the Redskins. They play the Dolphins today. Solomon, your keys to victory for Oakland.
I think the Raiders offense is going to have to get running with Lamont Jordan and force that 8-man front from the Miami Dolphins defense. And then they can go down the field with Moss and Porter and hit home runs in the passing game. And then on defense, they're going to have to hit and harass the quarterback and create turnovers. That's the way the Oakland Raiders want to play football today.
Miami's going through some tough times now, but it was only 2 weeks ago they actually led in the 4th quarter against New England. If they got a win for Nick Saban on that day, they would have been tied for first place in the AFC East. Instead, it's gone the other way. They're 3-7. What are the big keys for them today?
Well, they want to raise the curtain with their running attack with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. That is going to have to set the table. It's going to allow Gus Surratt to be steady in the pocket and make good decisions. And then in this secondary, we know that they have to be the last line of defense against the likes of Randy Moss and Jerry Porter. They've given up 10 touchdown passes in 10 games so far this year.
Oakland has won the toss. Miami will kick it off with Olindo Mare. Deep man for the Raiders. Chris Carr, number 23. Doug Gabriel in front of him. Carr, a rookie, averaging just over 24 yards per return. Both teams dealing with injuries, and we are underway from the Bay Area. Big game for the Raiders. San Diego on the schedule next week. Here's Carr. And he comes up shy of the 30-yard line. That's where Oakland will set up shop, as Bowens made the play on special teams. Kerry Collins, impressive 4th quarter showing a week ago in that victory over the Redskins. He was 9 of 12 in the final quarter for 128 yards through the air. Collins coming into this week the number 2 passer in the NFL in terms of yardage this season. He has thrown for over 2,600 yards in 2005. Double tight end set. Anderson and Flemister to open up. And Lamont Jordan, flags come down. Oakland, the most penalized team in the NFL, averaging 10 penalties per game. Here's Ron Winter.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And that's the left guard for Norv Turner's offensive line, Brad Badger. Gets caught on the first play from scrimmage. So back it up for the Raiders. And a 1st and 15 from the 22 for Oakland. Jordan the lone setback. And they'll go to the ground game with Jordan. Unable to break any tackles as he picks up 3. Number of Miami defensive players there, including Jason Taylor for the 19th ranked defense in the NFL. Barry Sims will have his hands full with Taylor today. That's a big challenge for the left tackle. Backs and receivers. Jerry Porter is coming off a tremendous day against Washington. Porter finished with 6 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown in that 16-13 victory. At a 2nd and 12, Collins straight back. Little flare to the outside, and Jordan breaks a tackle. Able to stay on his feet as Taylor was there to drag him down after Pope missed initially. Pope making the play, and a pickup of a yard. Taylor anchors that defensive line, and this is where the injuries are. The linebacking crew. No Zach Thomas today. Junior Seau out for the season, so the rookie Channing Crowder moves to the middle. Derek Pope getting the start, and Donnie Spragan along with Travaris Tillman in that secondary for Miami. Tillman last week came up with an interception in the loss to Cleveland. 3 receiver set. Here's Collins stepping up in trouble, and Collins is sacked. David Bowens coming through and able to dump Kerry Collins on the first possession of the day.
Well, Bowens is doing a really good job of coming off the ball. They bring pressure off the left side. They force him to step up into the pocket, but they're still able to get to the quarterback by running the stunt, bringing Kevin Carter, the defensive end, under inside. Bowens loops around for the secondary pressure on Kerry Collins.
Ron Stone was unable to handle him, and Oakland is forced to punt. Shane Leckler, the best in the NFL. High kick, but not one of his best as it went to the outside. We'll see where they spot it, and it's going to be just around midfield. Just a 34-yard punt for Shane Leckler, who comes in averaging over 46 yards per kick. Gus Frerotte getting ready to lead this Miami offense. A penalty marker on that play, by the way, on the far side of the field, as Frerotte came in relief last week for the ineffective Sage Rosenfels in that shutout loss to Cleveland.
51. A 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the end of the kick. First down.
Now Miami's going to have outstanding field position on their first possession, and the connection for Norv Turner. He was the offensive coordinator for Miami for 2 years in 2002 and 2003. It's been an interesting week for one Nick Saban. We'll talk about his comments following the Cleveland loss and how they have been portrayed as the game goes on here today. We had a chance to sit down with Saban yesterday. 3 receiver set on a 1st and 10. They open up on Oakland's end of the field. Frerotte comfortable in the pocket. Now sacked from behind. Excellent play coming through. And a loss of 4 on the play. Derek Burgess with the sack. Damian McIntosh, part of the offensive line that has now allowed 15 sacks on the season. Backs and receivers. Ricky Williams coming off his best game of the season. He had 83 yards rushing a week ago. Handoff, it's Ronnie Brown slicing through a hole, and he crosses the 45. And a 7-yard gain. Bobby Hamilton in on that stop. Burgess has been on an absolute mission. His 10th sack of the season. Changes on the defensive line. Tommy Kelly shifts inside. Warren Sapp done for the year with a shoulder injury. Linebackers, Tyler Brayton, you'll see him on the sideline as well, depending upon what package they use on defense. And in the secondary, the rookie Fabian Washington has been forced into duty because of injuries. Charles Woodson is out. Washington last week did have a forced fumble in that win over Washington. Fake the handoff. Frerotte steps up. Frerotte throwing. Deep ball. Separation. Catch made. Brian Gilmore. And he's got it for the touchdown. Frerotte put it on the money. And Miami strikes first.
And they pick on Fabian Washington. And watch Gilmore at the top of the screen. It's just a sprint to the end zone. And Washington drops coverage, maybe expecting Stuart Schweiger to come over the top, but he only needs one step, and Gilmore just burns him into the end zone for a touchdown.
First touchdown of the season for Brian Gilmore in his 5th year out of Midwestern State. They picked him up off of waivers last year as Murray adds the extra point. And this crowd has quieted down in a hurry. The strike. Farrat to Gilmore. 7-0 Dolphins. A new career long for Brian Gilmore. 44-yard touchdown on the pass from Farrat. And Miami in front 7-0 with 11:58 to go in the first quarter. Mare will kick it off again. Chris Carr is waiting. And returnable as Carr will take it out of the end zone. Here's Carr, and he is upended shy of the 20-yard line. Travaris Tillman, first man downfield to make that play.
And what you have is a basic cover two with the safeties deep, but he doesn't get over the top, and Gilmore just sprints to the end zone. The rookie Fabian Washington at the corner position is expecting Stuart Schweiger to get over the top. Schweiger hangs in the middle over the slot receiver, cannot get out on the perimeter to prevent the touchdown by Gilmore.
And give credit to Farrat as well, who put the ball exactly where it had to be for Brian Gilmore.
And how about the protection by the offensive line, which is what the coaches, Nick Saban, said would be paramount for this offense for the Miami Dolphins today.
7-0 Miami with the lead. And Oakland takes over with a 1st and 10. And its own 18-yard line. Handoff to Lamont Jordan trying to get out in space. And Jordan is able to shuffle his way for a gain of 6 on 1st down. Oh, he told you about the injuries on both sides. How about the linebacker position for the Miami Dolphins today? Zach Thomas suffered that shoulder injury last week. Junior Seau, his season is over. With Thomas, we don't know exactly when he's going to be back. We do know he's going to be seeing Dr. James Andrews tomorrow. And he's also got a high ankle sprain.
And Channing Crowder is the young rookie that has to step in for Zach Thomas, provide leadership at the middle linebacker position.
Through a hole, and Lamont Jordan has got a 5-yard gain and a 1st down for Oakland. Jordan leading this team in rushing yards and receptions overall. I think it's been the one surprise that Jordan has brought, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He was a bit of a mystery in that category from his New York Jet days.
And Norv Turner said it. I didn't know much about him. We knew he was a good player. We knew he would be a good addition, but I think he surprised everyone with the Oakland Raiders, his ability to not only run the ball, but to catch the ball out of the backfield, and has, I think, added some leadership qualities also.
3 receivers set. Collins, pump. Collins, deep ball. There's separation, but too far for Alvis Whitted. The former track star could not track that one down over his shoulder. And Collins just missed out on a golden opportunity.
And he got behind this secondary that we told you in the open that they were going to go up top. They would need to hit some home runs with the wide receivers. Alvis Whitted is behind the defense. And they just overthrow it. Kerry Collins overthrows Whitted and throws it over the wrong shoulder. Throws it over that outside shoulder. That was an easy layup for the offense to hit the big play.
Would have been 6 points and the equalizer for Oakland. Instead, 2nd and 10. Jordan running with a purpose, but not much there as he stumbles for a gain of 4. Channing Crowder, Florida rookie, combining with Keith Traylor to bring down Lamont Jordan.
And I think it's going to be important for the young linebackers to play well. And we're talking about Channing Crowder, Derek Pope, Donnie Spraggins. When you're young and you're energetic, you get in that first game, the adrenaline is flowing, and sometimes you tend to be too fast to rush to the football, and you allow the cutback by the runner to go out the back door. So they're going to have to be very sound and disciplined in their rush lanes.
Now a 3rd and 6. Collins in the pocket, swing pass to Jordan, and loses the football. Jordan was trying to extend the arm. He wasn't even close to a 1st down, but he'll be ruled down. The whistle blew. Vonnie Holliday on the recovery, but no harm done.
Yeah, Jordan's trying to do too much here. He's nowhere close to the 1st down, but still exposes this ball and nearly creates a turnover situation. I think that's where he has to settle down too, and the coaches talk about he wants to hit the home run every time he gets the ball. Has to do a better job of understanding the situation and taking the opportunity when it presents itself.
Here's the punt from Leckler. Did not get off a good one on his first opportunity. This one a little better, but still not the standard of which we're accustomed to from Shane Leckler. It will go down as a 33-yard punt. And Miami will get the football back, already leading the Raiders 7-0 here in Oakland. And avoided a fate this year. Always next year. Long pass to Chambers on first down. And it's incomplete. Fabian Washington had the coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Oh, the Dolphins are coming out and taking some shots with their receivers. They're going to get a lot of single coverage on the outside. Fabian Washington appears to be the one they want to go after. He's the rookie and has played, I think, pretty good football over the last couple of weeks. They're expecting Chris Chambers to be able to make some plays, the veteran wide receiver working against the rookie.
Another quick snap. This time a handoff to Ronnie Brown running into a crowd, and he picks up 3. Kirk Morrison making that tackle for Oakland, and the injury report for the Raiders. Warren Sapp, we were told yesterday, injured reserve, and earlier in the week, the initial thought was, all right, he's not going to play this week because of the shoulder, but he will return. Not the case. MRI performed on Wednesday. Sapp is done for the year. Woodson has missed extended action because of that leg injury, and the Raiders have to move on.
And Sapp was having a good year since going back to that 4-3 front. He had been playing well, but other guys, Tommy Kelly, Ed Jasper, playing well.
On a direct snap to Ronnie Brown, and he's got a first down. Loses the ball at the end of the play as a flag came down. Dolphins ranged over. Raiders were there, and they get the football. Well, how about that? You got a direct snap to Brown, you got a penalty marker on the play, and a Stuart Schweigert recovery on a 15-yard run.
And they're going to talk about it. There is a flag down, but what do we talk about? Young runners in the National Football League, understanding the moment. You had already made a big play. Just protect the football and live to fight another day.
Ron Winter.
Rolling on the field, there's a fumble recovered by the defense before going out of bounds. Holding, offense number 68, the penalties decline. First down.
So the Miami Dolphins turn it over. And Ronnie Brown, who had made a terrific play to get the first down, coughs it up.
The play by design, I think, was an excellent play, the direct snap, but Stuart Schweigert punches the ball out, and then the Raiders are able to pounce on it before going out of bounds.
Games with at least 1 turnover. Nick Saban, during that timeout, was clutching the red flag, and now he's thrown it. This could be one of 2 issues, Solomon. One being, was Ronnie Brown already down, or 2, were the Raiders out of bounds when they recovered the ball along the sideline?
I think both are close calls and a wise
Miami's
choice by
challenge
Nick
are rolling
Saban.
on the field, but the fumble was recovered inbounds.
Well, there you go. So Stuart Schweigert, who was out along the sideline, was he in bounds holding on to this football? There's the roll. 29 kept it in. It's going to be a tight call.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint Business. Sprint Business, yes you can. And by the Citi Simplicity Credit Card, the card that treats you right.
Back here in Oakland with the Miami Dolphins leading at 7-0. The question right now for Ron Winter, was Reggie Tongue out of bounds when he touched this ball to keep it alive for Schweigert?
Watch his shoulders hit out of bounds and see if his foot is still with the ball. It looked like the ball was still making contact with his leg when that shoulder made contact with the out of bounds line. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the officials say, because it's certainly open to interpretation. I think maybe several pair of eyes could see the same thing, but, you know, interpret it differently.
There's no question on Schweigert. He gets the ball clean. The only question is with Reggie Tongue and whether his back was lying out of bounds as it made contact with his foot.
You know, the ball was rolling around his legs and then his foot, then his upper body went out of bounds.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Oakland.
Yep.
Miami is charged with a timeout.
That's Ron Winter's take on it. And that's the way it's going to stay. Raiders take over with a 1st and 10, and Nick Saban loses a timeout.
Good interpretation, because I don't think it's clear that the ball was hitting his legs as he went out. I think, as we said, a couple of pair of eyes could see it and maybe interpret it differently. They're going to say that He did not make contact with the ball as he went out.
So after the turnover by Ronnie Brown, Raiders with a first down at the 48-yard line. And off, Jordan. And sticks the helmet down, leans forward to pick up 5 yards and set up a 2nd and 5 for Oakland. Randy Moss will come back onto the field. He was not on the field for that first down play. Lamont Jordan, you've been impressed with his time so far as a Raider?
I have been impressed. His ability to rush for over 600 yards and have over 400 yards receiving, the only running back in the National Football League with those kinds of numbers. 52 receptions out of the backfield. I think he has been a weapon for Kerry Collins in this offense.
Well, so far he's been the only weapon for Kerry Collins. He's the only Raider to touch the football. Here's Collins, and unable to get it to Jordan. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for Oakland.
And right now, Kerry Collins has gotten off to a very bad start because there's a couple of times he's had the protection and the time to hit receivers wide open down the field. Alvis with it earlier in this game, and then just there checking the ball down to Lamont Jordan. He was wide open. No reason why Kerry Collins should not have completed that pass.
Doug Gabriel comes on as a 3rd receiver, along with Moss and Porter for Oakland. Dime package right now for Miami on a 3rd and 5. Look out, Collins! Ball is knocked free. It's lying on the ground. Jason Taylor was the one who knocked it loose. Pushing and shoving between the Raiders and Dolphins to recover it. And Oakland does get it back. But the Raiders do nothing with that excellent field position.
You force him into 3rd and long, and then you can pin your ears back. And watch Taylor against Barry Sims, the left tackle. He blows right by him off the line of scrimmage. Kerry Collins didn't have a chance. Smart by Jason Taylor to go for the football. That ball's just sitting on the ground, resting on the back of Kerry Collins, but it's an excellent pass rush. This is what North Turner was really afraid of. He knows that Jason Taylor can take over a football game.
David Bowens went limping off for Miami as Leckler uncorks his 3rd punt. And that one will take a Miami roll. Raiders will touch it up at the 34-yard line, and it's a 24-yard punt for Leckler. Who knows what's wrong with him so far today. 7-0, Dolphins in front. Strange start to this one. Miami with a 7-0 lead, 7:07 to go in the first quarter. And the Dolphins with a 1st and 10 at their own 34.
Give credit to the Dolphins defense for pitching that 3 and out after the turnover by the offense.
Ricky Williams in there for Miami. And a 3-receiver set. Williams gets the call and runs into a wall as he picked up a couple. Tommy Kelly, first man there. We'll give him a gain of 3 on first down. So for Williams, 13 carries, 83 yards last week. Can this work, sharing carries with Williams and Ronnie Brown?
I think it has worked. In 3 of their last 4 games, they've averaged over 4 point yards per carry, no matter who they're running. I think right now the most improved part of this football team has to be the Dolphins' offensive line.
2nd and 7, play action. Farrat has got time. Farrat throwing, incomplete. Randy McMichael had it. And the coverage from Fabian Washington.
And that time you saw the protection provided by that offensive line, protecting Gus Farrat, gave him ample time to look down the field and get the ball over to McMichael. See, he has the double catch. You have to hold on to it the first time. Fabian Washington continues to fight and is able to break it up. And what did Nick Saban tell us? He said, hey, we need our skilled players to start making plays, and we have to finish games. But right now, they just need Randy McMichael to, once he makes that catch, to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, McMichael got off to a good start this season. Looked like he was going to have a Pro Bowl-type campaign. He's been quiet of late. Farrat finds the open man. It's Chris Chambers into Oakland territory. Farrat, who mishandled the snap initially, is able to recover for a 16-yard hookup to his #1 wideout.
He's able to hold on to it because the protection was good. And Gus Farrat has had his ups and downs so far this year. First 4 games, you look at the numbers, still about 50-50 with this touchdown interception ratio. And then the last 6 games, the interceptions have come, the poor throws have come, and then he's been inconsistent at best.
Ricky Williams, little stutter step move for a gain of a couple. Ronaldo Hill in on that stop for Oakland.
And I talk about the Miami Dolphins offensive line. Hudson Houck, the offensive line coach, he's the guy that really has gotten this offense to really play better. And the fact that they can run the football and see 4-point yards per rush. It's fourth in the National Football League. Their ability to protect the quarterback. It all starts there. They have the skilled players, and now those guys have to come through and be more consistent.
Now they're just not turning it into wins, though. 3 straight losses for the Dolphins. Farrat throwing incomplete with a penalty marker down. He was looking for Brian Gilmore. Should have brought that one in. But a flag on the play, thrown at the 44-yard line. Winter's a busy man.
Offside. Defense number 93 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So they had a free play because of Tommy Kelly jumping off sides. And you're going to see mixing and matching on that D-line in the absence of Sapp, Kelly, Ed Jasper, Turdell Sands, as Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator, looks for the right combination.
Well, they've got a good combination because they run this 4-2-5. They use 5 defensive backs. It's like that big nickel package, and they play well against the run and play pretty good against the pass, other than that first quarter touchdown.
2nd and 3. Farrat, play fake, deep one, incomplete. Sliding attempt by Chambers. And it'll be 3rd down for Miami.
Well, they're starting to, as we said, work on Fabian Washington. This is Chambers, and there's the ball's got to be thrown right here because he has a step on Washington. See, he trips and falls down. Schweiger coming over from the free safety position, trying to shrink that window for the pass from Gus Farrat. But they're going to have some opportunities on the perimeter because they play 3 safeties on the field at a time, trying to provide an 8-man front to stop the run of the Miami Dolphins.
There is Farrat on a roll, throwing on the run. Wide open Wes Welker. And a first down for the Dolphins. Jared Cooper making the hit along the sideline. That covers 16 yards, and this drive continues.
And you get the sense that with the protection provided by the offensive line, Gus Farrat's going to have opportunities to make plays. We saw Brian Gilmore drop a ball. We've already seen Randy McMichael drop a pass. Wes Welker comes in. He makes the catch. So if they can be consistent, as we said before, at the skill positions, no doubt it looks like they can move the ball against this Raiders defense.
Marty Booker has a calf injury. Wide receiver for the Dolphins. His return is questionable. Handoff, Ricky Williams. And able to fall forward for a pickup of 4 as we hit 4.5 minutes to play in this first quarter.
And already I think we've seen the Miami Dolphins respond after a poor performance last week against the Cleveland Browns. Nick Saban got his team together. He made some speeches, talked to the media, talked to the players. And I think the players got the message better than everyone else. And I think that's really all that matters because they definitely have responded here in the first quarter.
So far, 105 yards of offense. Compare that to Oakland's 11 yards of offense. 2nd and 6. Pump fake. Farrat looking for the touchdown. And it's intercepted. Stuart Schweiger down the sideline. He gets level. But the Raiders come up with the pick.
Got to keep your head on a swivel, Stuart. Those linemen can hit, but an excellent play on the football. Gus Farrat commits a cardinal mistake. Watch, he wants to go to his right. He comes clear back to the other side late. Stuart Schweiger is waiting for this one. Shows excellent ability in hands, coming up with a huge interception for the Raiders.
Today, MetLife is navigating the skies above Oakland, providing aerial coverage of all the football action. Look to the skies for the MetLife Blimps as they team up with CBS for more coverage in December. Just the 3rd interception, believe it or not, this season for the Oakland defense. Stuart Schweiger, his first of the year, and the pick from Gus Farrat. Raiders have it, 1st and 10 at their own 31. Collins, give to Jordan. He's got a hold. And Jordan stays on his feet. Flag down as he crossed midfield into Miami territory. And it's thrown back at the line of scrimmage. A 22-yard run, but looks like it's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
And Brad Badger is called on the hold, negating the 22-yard rip.
This Oakland Raiders offense finding it difficult to get going. Having mistakes, overthrowing wide open receivers, underthrowing them, and now the call on Badger brings back an excellent run by Lamont Jordan. But I think if you're the Raiders, you have to continue to pound the running game. They've yet to throw the ball over to Randy Moss. I don't know how long he's going to sit back and allow that to happen. I think eventually you have to start trying to get the ball to Randy, allow him to make some plays against a very vulnerable Miami Dolphins secondary.
Well, right now he's matched up with a rookie, Travis Daniels, out of LSU. They'll stay with the ground game. And Jordan gets stacked up. He picks up 2. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Lamont Jordan has carried the ball 6 times for 26 yards. Yeah, the big question about Moss, how healthy is he? Groin injury, rib problems, pelvis injury, cut practice short on Friday. Just haven't seen him yet. Here's Collins. Got the time and throws it underneath to guess who? Lamont Jordan. And Jordan able to fight for extra yardage and pick up the first down.
And this is what I mean by learning how to run in situations. He understood where the first down marker was, gave that little stutter step, made sure he made it to the first down marker. At least he's going to be very close.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to him.
But an excellent move, and you could tell he had understanding of the situation and where he was on the football field.
Either way, it sets up a 3rd and short, but they're going to claim that he came up shy of that first down line by about a yard. So a 3 tight end formation. And it's Jordan again, turning it upfield and falling down. He lost yardage on the play. It has been Lamont Jordan against the Miami defense. That's it. No one else has touched the ball for Oakland so far.
And you know they believe they have confidence. The right side of that offensive line didn't get it done, but has been a dual threat in this Oakland Raiders offense. You see the rushing yards and receiving yards representing 33% of their total offense. So that's what they brought him over here for. And what did Norv Turner tell us? That he believes Lamont Jordan's going to be even better in his 2nd year as a full-time starter in this offense.
Here's Leckler. Wes Welker moves forward, and a fair catch. He had room in front of him. I think is respecting the abilities of Leckler. And the reality was it was a 34-yard punt. And time for us to pause for the wisdom of Solomon.
Well, and the winds of change are blowing through the coaching ranks. Mike Tice, he's fighting to hold on to the Viking ship in Minnesota, brought that team back. Dom Capers trying to improve the expansion Houston Texans. Mike Sherman, he's hoping to just survive in Green Bay. And how about Brian Billick with the Baltimore Ravens, fighting to hold off the turf? As many as 10 coaching changes expected this offseason. The Rams, they've already gotten it going.
Minute 39 to go in this first quarter. Handoff to Ricky Williams, and nothing doing. Williams is denied by Ted Washington and Tommy Kelly. No gain on the play with a minute 25 and counting left in this first quarter.
Speaking of coaching changes, remember Nick Saban was brought over to get the Miami Dolphins going in the right direction, and he made some comments this week I think was kind of taken out of context. I think it's very clear. When we talked to him in week 2, he was clear in what he said. Hey, the focus is on doing the little things, and everything else will take care of itself. And I think that message has always been the same.
And Farrat incomplete to Randy McMichael. It'll set up 3rd and 10. He told us in our sit-down yesterday, hey, look, you got to have the ingredients right, or the soup just isn't going to taste very good. And you understand the point that they're trying to figure out if they've got the ingredients to actually go out there and make something of this team.
If you talk to every player, they'll tell you, hey, I want to win. But if you would ask that player, okay, how are you going to go about it? That's where I think you would get silence, because a lot of people don't know how to win, and he wants his players to focus on the how. If we do the little things, if we focus on tackling and blocking, then everything else takes care of itself.
On 3rd down, released by Ricky Williams, and he comes up short of the first down marker. Jared Cooper made sure of it. And he picked up 7 when he needed 10. So Miami will punt.
And one more thing on the Nick Saban comments, and just to put it all into context, remember he was asked, if you know, Zach Thomas, will he shut it down now that the team was 3-7? He says, hey, you know, we're not focusing on trying to get young players in, looking at other guys. He really was speaking to, hey, we're going to continue to work like we always have, and just because our record is 3-7, we're not going to change what we're doing.
Big punt from Jones to Chris Carr. And Carr is stamped as he hit the 15-yard line by the snapper John Denny. A 54-yard punt and just a 5-yard return. Time for our NFL.com poll question. And this week, after the undefeated Indianapolis Colts, who is the second best team in the National Football League?
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go with this. What I saw from them on Thanksgiving Day, I just think an awful lot of Mike Shanahan, his ability to call plays. But you know they can run the football. If Jake Plummer doesn't turn it over, they have balance on offense. And I think, surprisingly, their defense is better than what most people think.
And you can cast your vote at NFL.com. I think with Roethlisberger under center, Pittsburgh's got to be in the conversation.
There's no doubt. I want to see him get back and get some games under his belt right now.
Hand off to Lamont Jordan. I think gains just a yard. Kevin Carter among those there for Miami to bring down Jordan. Oakland is not deviating from the game plan right now. And we have come to an end of the first quarter. Well, Miami, one big play, and that's enough to be the difference so far. 7-0 Dolphins. Farah throwing deep ball, catch made. Brian Gilmore, and he's got it for the touchdown. And welcome back. McAfee Coliseum in Oakland, California. Dolphins 7, Raiders nothing as we start play in the second quarter. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, and the rest of our CBS crew. Collins, play action. Collins hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And he was locked in on Lamont Jordan. Now, we're not exaggerating when we say it's been all Jordan. Nobody else for Oakland on offense.
Well, it's also been Jason Taylor coming off the corner against Barry Sims, the left tackle. And I think it's leaving the quarterback, Kerry Collins, very vulnerable. You see him coming in. Watch the pressure coming up the front and then from the backside. And so it's the relentless effort of Jason Taylor that's really not allowing Kerry Collins and this Oakland Raider offense to get the ball down the field to the likes of Randy Moss and Jerry Porter.
And he got sandwiched on that play with Taylor, as you mentioned, and Kevin Carter helping on the front side. This is a 3rd and 9 in the pocket. Collins has the time, throwing to a spot, and hauled in by Porter. First down for Oakland at the 46-yard line with Reggie Howard and Travaris Tillman in coverage.
Protection is not only for the quarterback, but it's also for the receivers to be able to get downfield. And watch Jerry Porter working in the slot, comes out on that corner route, ball hung up a little, but he turns around, makes the excellent catch. It all starts with the protection by the offensive line, and in that time, Kerry Collins made an excellent throw, and what a catch by Porter.
Porter has that acrobatic ability. Now watching from the sideline on a 1st and 10. Collins throwing. Nobody home and a flag down. Jordan was in the area, too high for the Oakland running back, but a penalty marker at the 42-yard line of Miami.
And Norv Turner's not afraid to go deep. Right after the sack by Jason Taylor, they call another
Holding.
play.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, and a first down.
So a defensive hold is called against Nick Saban's club. Move it 5 yards. And spot the football at the 49 of Miami. On a 1st and 10. In Dolphin territory with the Dolphins in front, 7-0. Back to the bread and butter. It's Jordan. Shake and bake move as Jordan crosses the 45. And he picks up about 4 yards on 1st down.
Everywhere Norv Turner has been, he's never been shy about being committed and staying patient with the running game. Here he has Lamont Jordan. So Norv Turner understands that I can get the linebackers, the young linebackers of the Miami Dolphins, to bite up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to continue to come with more play action. He'll just lull you to sleep, patiently using the running game, and then he's going to try to strike quickly with a deep pass over the top.
On a 2nd down and 7, Jordan again, hit in the backfield. Unable to break free of Keith Traylor. The big nose tackle for the Dolphins, a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, he is the big guy, and boy, can he come off the ball. He's going to be here. He'll just come in, getting right underneath the center, and watch how he just comes right in. And they can't hold him off, and they can't keep him out of the backfield. Lamont Jordan had no chance of getting away from Keith Traylor.
The 2-gap run stuffer for this Miami defensive line, now in his 15th year in the NFL. And a 3rd and 9 for Oakland. 3 receiver formation. Rush is coming. And flags come down. Now this Raiders offense cannot find a rhythm.
False start. Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
And that one against Doug Gabriel, the 3rd-year receiver out of Central Florida.
And that's when you're asked to come off the field. North Turner says, yeah, you can come over and stand by me. We'll put Alvis Whitted in. Maybe we can get the playoff. Because now you're facing a 3rd and 14. You know the Dolphins are going to come after the quarterback, and they're going to try to force a quick throw by Collins so they can make the tackle before the ball advances beyond that 1st down mark.
So back it up to the Oakland 48. 3rd and long for Collins and the Raiders. As the protection, the throw on the money. And a 1st down to Alvis Whitted. Coverage from Travis Daniels and an 18-yard strike from Kerry Collins.
And they tried to come after Collins, but that time the protection held up. And it's a small window to throw this ball. Watch, Whitted's going to be surrounded by at least 4 defenders. He goes beyond the 1st down marker, but look, you've got 4 defenders in the area, and Kerry Collins just threw this one through a very small window, hitting Whitted beyond that 1st down marker.
And a 1st and 10 at the Miami 34, with the Dolphins leading this one 7-0. Early stages, 2nd quarter. Play action. Collins has the time. Collins, a throw to the sideline. Randy Moss. 1st down Raiders. At the 16-yard line, and Moss finally gets involved with an 18-yard hookup.
Well, they tell us he works hard when the ball's coming his way. And look at the throw by Collins. This ball's high. But Randy has the ability and the height and vertical jump to go up and haul it in and still come down with both feet in bounds. Sometimes he makes it look too easy, Ian.
36th catch for the 5-time Pro Bowler. And the 8th play of the drive coming up here. Collins is now 6 of 9 for 104 yards. Take the handoff. Collins steps up, and Collins throws. That ball was possibly tipped, but Kevin Carter got a clean shot on Kerry Collins, incomplete.
Kerry Collins is the kind of guy that he's going to stand in the pocket. When you look at what he's done since the 2000 season, he ranks very high in attempts, completions, yards, and how about 9th in touchdowns. And then, you know what, he's avoiding throwing those interceptions. So that's the thing. Kerry Collins, if he protects the football, he can help you win some games.
Kerry Collins, last week, the 2nd pass of the game was intercepted by Lamar Marshall and returned for a touchdown. Here's Collins in the pocket. Collins throwing, and a flag down. It's incomplete. Jason Taylor had an opportunity, and Jordan was the intended target. This flag's going to work against Miami.
Holding. Offense, defense number 99. 5-yard penalty and a 1st down.
And it's Taylor.
That'll help you get in position, get an interception. You know, Jason Taylor, this is one of the things they're asking him to do more in this defense. We know he can rush the passer, but I think the adjustment this year in this defense, he's been asked to drop back in coverage and make plays. You see, he has the ability, just has to catch the ball, keep his hands off the receiver, move his feet, and make a play on the ball. 1st and 10 for Oakland from the Miami 11. Handoff. Jordan, spin move, and devoured. Good play by Derek Pope. The 2nd-year linebacker able to make the stop on Jordan. It's a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11. And so far, I think the linebackers, Crowder, Pope, and Spraggins, they've done, I think, a very good job without Junior Seau or Zach Thomas in there. Right now, the Raiders, you see inside the red zone, ranked 24th in the National Football League, but this Miami Dolphins defense right now with the young linebackers, I think they're holding up pretty good.
On second down, Raiders looking to tie this one up. Collins throwing, complete. Courtney Anderson rolling towards the goal line. And he's down before he's able to hit pay dirt. Sam Madison hit him down low. But depending on the spot, they might set this one up 1st and goal inside the 1.
And watch Anderson coming across the formation right into the camera. And look at the tackle there by Sam Madison. He doesn't make this tackle on a very big, mobile Courtney Anderson. He's going to score a touchdown. It's little man against big man, and little man wins.
1st and goal inside the 1. Jordan and Crockett in the backfield. Oakland can tie it up. Handoff. Jordan up in the air for the touchdown. So the Raiders put together an 11-play, 85-yard drive and an extra point away from tying it up at 7.
Well, it starts with the offensive line providing protection for Collins and ends with the offensive line opening a hole for Lamont Jordan to go up and over for the touchdown. And I think that's really what has gotten the Raiders back into this ball game.
So for Jordan, that is his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Janikowski the extra point. All knotted at 7 with 9:34 to go in this first. Oakland Raiders 4-6, taking on the Miami Dolphins 3-7, and we're all tied up at 7. Back here in the Bay Area, Lamont Jordan goes for the 1-yard touchdown, airborne to pick it up. And the kickoff from Janikowski. Wes Welker is deep. He'll take it out of the end zone. There's Welker down the middle. Through a hole, Welker. And able to work his way to the 37-yard line before Jared Cooper made the stop on special teams, a 41-yard return. All tied up. Old AFC rivals going head-to-head. Miami Dolphins 7, Oakland Raiders 7 with 9:28 to go in this second quarter. Dolphins on a 1st and 10. Ball was deflected by Bobby Hamilton off the throw from Gus Frerotte, who is now in his 12th year in the NFL. And Frerotte started his career in Washington. Who was the head coach then?
Norv Turner.
Norv Turner. And Turner gave Gus his first opportunity in the NFL. Has had a number of stops along the way with Detroit, Denver, Cincinnati, Minnesota, and Miami. And in all of those stops, he has at least started 1 game. So he's one of only 4 players since the merger to start for 6 different teams. Ricky Williams off the direct snap. And the Raiders were ready for it with Danny Clark leading that charge for Oakland. The other guys, Solomon, Steve DeBerg, Chris Chandler, and our very own colleague here at CBS Sports, Steve Berline.
Steve Berline's been around the National Football League and now still making the rounds, calling games with us here at CBS. But Gus Frerotte is one of those guys that, you know, we talked to Norv Turner about it. What has been the thing with him? He says, well, he said, hey, he can make all the throws. Gus Frerotte just needs to be consistent over the long haul. It's going to have that opportunity with Miami.
Frerotte was drafted in the 7th round by Turner. They saw a big upside, and he developed quickly. Frerotte devoured. Tommy Kelly was there. Jared Cooper was there. Derek Burgess applied that pressure as well for Oakland.
Well, you're right. Everyone was there. Look, they're going to come here, come here, come here, and they just collapse the pocket, and they have that 4-2-5 defense, so it's double coverage on the back end. It's a coverage sack as much as it is anything because there was nowhere to go with the football.
Punt from Donnie Jones. Chris Carr waiting. Backpedals, and here's Carr. Trying to make a move to the outside. He's got a block. And Carr comes up short of the 30-yard line. A 12-yard return after the 53-yard punt. The stick by Travaris Tillman out along the perimeter. Actions pick it up here in Oakland. We're tied at 7. Tied at 7 here in the second quarter in Oakland. 8:23 to go in the first half. Raiders have it with a 1st and 10. Play fake. Collins steps up in the pocket, and Collins caught from behind by Vonnie Holliday. No gain on the play as Collins was looking to break free, and Holliday would have none of it.
Well, it's actually, they're going to come after him a bit. It's a play action. They want to go down the field to Randy Moss, but you see the protection break down. Kerry Collins steps up in the pocket, doing a good job of just holding on to the ball. But Vonnie Holliday and the rest of that Miami Dolphins front line is providing pressure without having to blitz.
Collins certainly not known for his spry footwork. As he hands off to Jordan, runs into the wall, cuts it to the outside. But look at all the white jerseys in the vicinity. Vonnie Holliday, first man there to deal with Jordan. It's a loss of 1. Visit CBS Sportsline tonight for a complete wrap-up of all the day's action. Watch video highlights, get in-depth analysis from NFL experts Clark Judge and Pete Prisco, only at CBSSportsline.com. So now the Raiders with a 3rd and 11 in front of them. Jordan averaging just 2 yards per carry here in the first half. On 3rd down, protection is there. Collins throwing over the middle. It's complete to Porter. And a flag down back at the 27-yard line as Porter makes the catch cleanly at the 43. 17-yard pass completion.
It was a free play because there at the hard count, Kerry Collins pulled him off.
Defense number 96 in the neutral zone for snap. Penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
Well, they'll turn down the David Bowens offsides because they got the first down the hard way.
And the protection has been inconsistent. Kerry Collins has been sacked already 3 times in this ball game, but Norv Turner still not shy to call the deep in-cut routes by the receivers, whether you have to have protection in order to complete that pass.
Miami Dolphins have suffered 9 straight road losses to teams from the AFC. Handoff to Jordan. And a little spin move for Jordan gets him a gain of 2. As the Dolphins are very prepared against the run.
Yeah, and they're also prepared against the pass in terms of putting pressure on the quarterback, getting hits. And we said that they would have to hit and harass the quarterback. That's what they've done to Kerry Collins. Not just the 3 sacks on the day, but other times when the pressure has been there, force maybe some bad throws when the coverage hasn't held up on the back end.
And the Dolphins have lost the time of possession battle in 8 of their last 9 games. It's basically double right now in favor of Oakland in that category. Here's Collins with a deep drop. Steps up, able to avoid the pressure, but can't make the connection to Anderson, the tight end. It'll be 3rd and 8. The linebacker, Donnie Spragan, had the coverage.
Spragan's getting the start at that outside linebacker position, but in holding up, we said they've done a good job, I think, against the run. We already said how Lamont Jordan, in terms of his yards per carry, not real high in this game. I think because of the linebackers, Donnie Spragan, Crowder, and Derek Pope, they're doing, I think, a really fine job in this game.
So this will be a 3rd and long for Oakland. Collins in the pocket. Collins thrown down. Vonnie Holliday just tossed Collins to the turf, and the Raiders will punt again.
Already now 4 sacks by the Miami Dolphins on defense. And so they're able to come off this right side, and that's where the pressure is. But they've come up the middle today. Holliday lined up at that tackle position. He's getting the push right in the face of Kerry Collins.
26th sack this season that the Raiders offensive line has given up. And Shane Leckler the punt. And again it takes a Miami bounce. And Leckler is just not himself today. That'll be a 25-yard punt for Leckler. The Pro Bowler with a powerful leg has not been getting it done in this first half. Dolphins get the football back when we return. Always a treat to be here amongst Raider Nation. And a family that dresses up together stays together. There's my motto.
They love their Raiders.
They do. Tied at 7, Raiders and Dolphins. 1st and 10, Miami. On a quick hitter. Randy McMichael able to get a first down into Oakland territory. He picks up 15 yards on the catch and run for the Dolphins. Log on to NFL.com from now until the end of the season and keep track of the latest divisional and conference rankings. See where your favorite team ranks and if they're in, out, or on the playoff bubble. It's all on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. Gus Frerotte, 5 of 11 so far for McMichael. His first catch of the day and a 1st and 10 at the Oakland 48. Draw play, Ronnie Brown. Juke move by Brown, and he's able to get a solid gainer on 1st down. He picks up 6.
The Raider defense, talk about where they've been up and down. And since that 2002, that was the Super Bowl season. See, they have declined, but this year I think they're coming up. They're beginning to improve, even though they ranked 22nd overall. They're beginning to improve because they're now starting to get younger players on the field who are starting to produce. Still have the veterans like Bobby Hamilton, who's now healthy, and then if you throw in Derek Burgess, who played very well, this defense, I believe, is on the rise.
2nd and 4 for the Dolphins. To the ground, Brown. And he's going to come up short of a 1st down. Danny Clark among those there on the stop for the Oakland Raiders, and a gain of 2 for Miami. What do you make of this 4-2-5 on defense? Is it something that we see a lot in the NFL?
No, you don't see a lot of it, and I think the reason why they're doing it, they're wanting to get more of their athletes on the football field using 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then 3 safeties. Rob Ryan wanting to get guys like Ronaldo Hill, even though he's 5'11", 190, he's a good tackler. And then if you throw in Gerard Cooper, those 2 safeties on the outside, they can play the run and the pass equally well.
On a 3rd and 2, Brown trying to push the pile. He's got enough. And a 1st down for Miami. This drive remains alive for the Dolphins.
And only 42 rush yards against this Oakland Raider defense so far in the game. You expect the Dolphins to be able to run it in chunks with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams running the ball, but both running backs, they're very good in their own right, doing so many things well for Nick Saban in this offense. But right now, the Raiders defense holding up against the run game of the Miami Dolphins.
Now, Miami had 194 yards of total offense last week. They had 132 yards of offense in the 1st half today. Little jump on the line. Flag comes down. And the quick out to Chris Chambers. But a penalty marker, as mentioned, on the play. We'll see if the 5-yard pass will stand for Miami. Looked like movement on both sides. Who was the guilty party?
Offside. Defense number 95 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Now it's the veteran defensive tackle, Ed Jasper. Now in his 9th year in the NFL. And with 2:35 and counting left in this 1st half, Miami's in business here. 1st and 5 now at the 33-yard line. Penalties continue to accumulate for Oakland, 6 of them against the Raiders. Handoff to Ronnie Brown, the rookie. And a spin move to no avail. Tyler Brayton was able to sniff it out and limit Brown to a gain of 1.
Tyler Brayton was the one who wrecked the play. It was his initial penetration that I think created problems for that run play. And that's what you mean by improvement on defense. There were times when teams would come in here and just really were able to run and throw the ball against this.
The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 is providing today's aerial coverage of the action here in Oakland. The Blimps provide coverage of over 70 sporting events and television specials throughout the United States each year. In fact, look for the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2 as it teams up with CBS again next weekend in Miami. Frerotte forced to throw it away because of the heat provided by Bobby Hamilton. And a penalty marker thrown. Frerotte claiming that he threw it at the feet of a teammate.
Yeah, but the ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage, and he still was in the pocket in between the tackles. So they're going to call it illegal grounding because he was definitely under pressure and was trying to just get rid of the football to avoid the sack.
Ron Winter having a little chat with his line judge, Tom Stefan.
There is no foul for intentional grounding as receiver number 23 is in the area. 3rd down.
I think they had it right in the first place. He throws the ball at the feet of the receiver in the area. And see the immediate pressure? And see Ronnie Brown's not even looking back. And the ball is thrown, I think, to the left of where Ronnie Brown was. I think they had the call right initially.
So they'll take the flag back and set it up with a 3rd and 4 from the 32 of Oakland. pivotal play here for the Dolphins on offense. Shotgun, Farrat handling the pressure. Sidearm toss, complete to Chambers, and a first down for Miami. A 6-yard gain through the air and a new set of downs for the Dolphins to work with. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Clock is moving, a minute 27 left. First half, second catch of the day for Chambers. On first down, handoff to Brown. And Brown is stacked up and finished off on the play by Turdell Sands. Bobby Hamilton, first man there, a gain of 1.
And now as the Dolphins knock on the door of the red zone. Remember last time they was in this position, Gus Farrat made a fatal mistake, threw the interception to Stuart Schweigert, and it was just a poor decision on his part. And so you want to get points on the board before halftime. And you have to understand, yeah, we want to get a touchdown, but let's make a wise decision. Good choice with the football.
Miami lost a timeout earlier. A challenge from Nick Saban. Did not stand up. Farrat throwing. Complete to Chambers, short of the goal line. Schweigert with the hit. But it's a 23-yard pass play, and the Dolphins are knocking on the door.
Good decision, good execution by Gus Farrat. Watch Chambers goes across the formation, getting the ball over the linebacker and in between the safety and cornerback. And so it's a crowded area, very small window, but it's an excellent time to throw the ball. You're just outside that 20-yard line. If you're going to take a shot, that's a good area to do it.
And Miami will use one of its 2 remaining timeouts, and they'll have a first and goal at the 1 with a chance to take the lead before we hit the halftime break. So Gus Farrat has found some holes in this Rob Ryan design defense. Now Farrat last week, 4 of 18, 53 yards, playing with that sprained right index finger. Can't tape it, can't really do anything with it. He's just got to accept the pain.
I think he's doing a good job of making decisions. He said the swelling went down. I asked him what happened last week. He said, I wasn't able to practice last week, and he said, I came in that game, filled in for Sage Rosenfels. He said, I was just looking to make a play, so we had to take some shots.
On first and goal, Brown toppled over. Did he get in? Dolphins want a signal. Ball has squirted loose in the end zone. Farrat holds up his arms, and the officials still haven't made the call.
Well, one official put his arms up, but want to ask the other guys, what'd you see? One official's already said it was a touchdown, and I think they're going to go in that direction.
So Miami's going to get the touchdown.
Let's see if he made it in. Here's the dive.
Timeout.
Can't really quite see where that.
Oakland.
Okay, he comes in and is able to extend the ball beyond the goal line. I think he did break the plane of the goal line before he hit the ground. See the ball out right there? From our other angle, we could see that that ball had broken the plane of the end zone.
Now remember, Oakland cannot challenge it. The booth would have to review it. That's why Norv Turner has called the timeout, so that the booth could take a look at this on 3 or 4 different replays.
See right there, ball in. See, the ball broke the plane of that goal line, so I think it's clear it was a touchdown.
The confusion after the play came when no official call had been made. The ball was already free and the Raiders came up with it. But the officials are going to take a look at this one. A booth review with 32 seconds to go in this first half. So Norv Turner taking the timeout just to make sure that the extra point wasn't kicked, and they didn't move this game along without properly looking at this play.
I think if I'm Norv Turner and I'm the Raiders, I want to make sure that it is a touchdown. But I think it's clear from what we have here that he was able to extend the ball beyond the goal line.
Possession when the ball broke the plane of the goal line.
So 13-7 right now. We'll wait for the official word when we come back to Oakland.
There's the ball, and you can see the nose of the ball is beyond the initial plane of that goal line. Once you break that plane, you have to consider it a touchdown. And then remember, it was ruled a touchdown on the field.
Excellent camera work, able to get that angle of the ball down low from Ronnie Brown. Well, earlier, Ronnie Brown fumbled the football. Nick Saban challenged it. It was not overturned. And somehow Ron Winter would have to see some kind of evidence to show him that it was not a touchdown. The call on the field was a touchdown.
And I think it's clear from the pictures we just showed that while Ronnie Brown was in midair, he was able to extend the ball out and break the plane of the goal line. See, he's still in midair, but see the ball extended prior to hitting the ground, or even prior to the ball hitting the ground, he had extended, I think, the nose of the football beyond that initial plane of the goal line.
And a risky play, because when you extend that ball out, you're leaving yourself in a vulnerable position if a helmet comes flying in and the ball gets knocked free.
It's a feast or famine decision by the runner. And I think he's going to live to tell the tale on this one, because I think from what we have seen just there, it has to be ruled a touchdown after the review.
Has been a long review, though, for Ron Winter. This one hasn't been an open and shut case by any stretch.
I don't think Nick Saban feels as confident as I do.
No, no, I would agree. Well, here's Winter.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. There's a touchdown.
Now, Solomon, the Dolphins get their touchdown after Ronnie Brown's play is upheld at the goal line.
And it was a drive of 10 plays where they ran it 10 times, threw it another 4 times. Good decisions made by Gus Frerotte, and then good running using both Ricky and Ronnie.
And the extra point from Olindo Mare, giving Miami a 14-7 lead as the rookie Brown gets his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Completely changed the game. Survivor is TV's #1 reality show right here on CBS. This is America's #1 network. 14-7. Dolphins now leading the Raiders after the 1-yard touchdown plunge. Ronnie Brown able to extend the arm and break the plane of the end zone to give the Dolphins the 7-point lead. 32 seconds left, first half. Olindo Mare to kick it off. Chris Carr is deep, standing at his own 1. And this is Carr, mishandles it, he's going to have to take a knee. Raiders will have it at the 20. Late stages, first half. Well, coming up tonight, after 60 minutes, the answers to a family tragedy could be exposed in an old home movie. See why critics call Cold Case TV's best cop show. Don't miss a new episode right here on CBS, America's #1 network.
And right now, I think if you had to ask, okay, where can the Oakland Raiders improve? I think it has to be on their third down defense. They're playing pretty solid both sides of the ball. Have to improve in their third down execution.
Raiders have 2 timeouts to work with. They go conservative here with Jordan, and a 5-yard gain. Fans react to that after Reggie Howard makes the stop. And they'll use one of their remaining timeouts. Stop the clock with 26 seconds remaining. Now for Norv Turner. He told us about his time in Miami, 2 years, felt that they were a good offensive football team, and people seem to forget that because they didn't make the playoffs during that 2-year span. But they had a lot of injuries on offense, and Norv remembers the fond memories as opposed to the negative ones in Miami.
And you remember quarterbacks getting hurt. They had to play Ray Lucas for a time or two, and then they were winning games, but just so happened they were in the same division with the Patriots, who were winning 3 of 4 Super Bowls. So, you know, it's just about timing, and they did have a good football team, but things unraveled in a hurry. and now it's up to Nick Saban to put it all back together again in Miami.
2nd and 5 now for the Raiders. Only 26 seconds remain, first half. Jordan in the backfield. He's gotten a lot of touches so far today. Here's Collins in the pocket. And Collins, wobbly throw because he was hit by Vonnie Holliday, and it's incomplete. 21 seconds remain.
Vonnie Holliday may as well be another running back because he lives in the backfield of the Oakland Raiders, getting yet another hit on Kerry Collins. So you talk about the pressure, you know, sometimes we always want to point to the sacks, but it's hits like that by Holliday, I think is going to allow the defense to have that presence in the mind of Kerry Collins. Even when he does have protection, he's going to anticipate pressure.
On 3rd down, Collins will hand it to Jordan. And a spin from Jordan, and he picks up a first down out across the 30-yard line. 15 seconds remain. Oakland will use its final timeout. And really not even in a position for a Hail Mary. Kerry Collins, who has a big arm, one of the bigger arms in the NFL, but you're talking about a 70-yard throw.
Also have some guys who can get down the field.
Well, that's true. That's true. Maybe I shouldn't jump the gun on that. Some scores from around the NFL. Early game. San Diego in overtime knocks off Washington. Kansas City beats New England. Carolina and Buffalo, with the Panthers winning that one. Chicago holds off Tampa Bay. Minnesota over Cleveland. Vikings trying to get back into the mix. Cincinnati in a shootout with Baltimore. Tennessee knocks off San Francisco, and in overtime, the come-from-behind victory, St. Louis over Houston. Greg Gumbel in the game. We'll have all the highlights for you coming up at halftime.
Interesting point. Kansas City and San Diego both come away with a win. So I think it's paramount that the Raiders have to win this game to stay in the playoff picture.
And Kerry Collins lost the ball. It was just sitting there, and Jake Grove, the center, able to come up with it. A flag on the play.
Offside. Defense, number 96, in the neutral zone at the snap. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That's David Bowen, so move it the 5 yards and set it up at the 37. Just 11 ticks of the clock remaining. Oakland Raiders enter action at 4 and 6. And the teams that they are chasing both getting victories earlier today, and Denver getting one on Thanksgiving. Collins patting the ball, throwing underneath to Jordan, and ducks out of bounds with 5 seconds left. And now a more manageable throw for Kerry Collins, because the line of scrimmage will be the 47-yard line after the 10-yard pickup.
Well, do you take a shot at the end zone? I think so, because anything can happen. And if you throw it over to Randy Moss, we know he has the ability and the hops to go up top and come down with the football.
Well, they've got time for one more play. 4 seconds remaining. Second quarter. Miami able to take that 14-7 lead, hoping it holds up as they go to the locker room. Here's Collins, deep drop, waiting for his receivers to get downfield. Airs it out. Collins up in the air, knocked around, and intercepted. So Tillman comes up with the pick for Miami, his 3rd interception of the season. And that is how the first half will end. Miami 14, Oakland 7, the Sprint halftime report. Coming up, the NFL on CBS. And coming up from the Bay Area in a moment. The Coliseum, Miami leads Oakland 14-7. We welcome you back inside the broadcast booth. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox. Miami has to be satisfied with the way they played in the first half. Oakland, on the other hand, came out flat and looked flat at different points of that first half.
Well, the surprising thing is that the Miami Dolphins has overcome 2 first-half turnovers to play well and take the lead, because they have run the ball. They've thrown it a little bit. Lamont Jordan has also, I think, been effective in this game, provided Kerry Collins the opportunity with some play-action passes. Porter has 2 catches for 48 yards, but you see the balance on the Miami Dolphins side, their ability to run, spread the ball to Chris Chambers, and then Brian Gilmore had the first quarter touchdown, hitting the home run going deep. The Dolphins defense has surprised me because they played well with the absence of Zach Thomas and Junior Seau.
Janikowski, the kick. Wes Welker returning from the 4th. Here's Welker through a lane. And Welker tackled as he crossed the 35-yard line by Stuart Schweigert on special teams.
Oh, Gary Collins, he's trying to get the ball around, trying to go downfield with it. The thing is, has to protect it, only throwing an interception on the last play of the half in that Hail Mary situation. And then Gus Frerotte, remember, he did throw the ball over on this side. That's where he was intercepted, but he's trying to get the ball down the field. They're throwing the ball downfield, and they've been successful doing so against the Oakland Raiders secondary.
Now, Miami actually came into this game with the lowest completion percentage in the NFL. The combination of Frerotte and Rosenfels, mostly, of course, Frerotte. First play from scrimmage, second half. Williams and Barnes in there. Play fake and a boot. Frerotte toss to McMichael. Catch and run for Randy McMichael. And he's forced out by Kirk Morrison, the rookie out of San Diego State. It's a 12-yard gain and a good start to this second half for Miami on offense.
They're starting to mix it up. They're mixing in the run and the pass, bringing McMichael across the formation, trying to create ways to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. As you can see, the possessions, a touchdown in that very first possession. Then you talked about overcoming the fumble and the interception, then having to punt, but they got it together before the end of the half.
On the handoff, little spin by Ricky Williams, and he gains 5 into Oakland territory down at the 48-yard line. Remember when, all the rumors were out there that Ricky Williams is coming back, wants to return to the NFL. What was the first thing that people just assumed? Oh, he's going to be a Raider. He's a Raider.
Everyone ended up playing for the Raiders. All the guys who've been disenfranchised and upset, not happy with things, everyone's supposed to end up with the Raiders. But I think it shows that coaches like Nick Saban and the organization, the Dolphins, they show forgiveness, but especially when you have the talent of Ricky Williams.
Frerotte off play action. Chambers drops the football. Would have been a big gainer as Chambers is asking out of the game. Might have some finger issues as he heads to the sideline.
And this is a big disappointment because they expected Chris Chambers to have an excellent year. He doesn't get the head around, doesn't completely find the football. Now there's the head, so make the catch. And because it was a good throw by Gus Frerotte after getting excellent protection from the offensive line. As a receiver, you can't ask for anything more for that ball to get there very quickly.
So now a 3rd and 5 for Miami. Frerotte. Look at the time. Frerotte airing it out and throwing it away. Did not have an open receiver, and he's forced to get rid of it, and Miami is forced to punt.
And if you're upset,
promising start.
Yeah, and you can't be upset with your quarterback. He did the right thing throwing it away because the play should have been made on 2nd down. And we had talked to Nick Saban about it. He said, hey, the offensive line under the O-line coach Hudson Houck has improved. So now we need our skilled players to make the plays when the opportunity presents itself. Chris Chambers did not make the play.
Oh, snap handled by Donnie Jones, and Chris Carr is waiting. He's going to let this one bounce. Should be saved. It is. Miami downs it at the 1. Good downfield help from Jeremiah Bell. A 47-yard punt, and the Raiders are pinned back deep to open the second half. The MetLife blimp, Snoopy 2, under the command of Captain Matthew St. John. Little help from co-pilot Snoopy. They're working hard providing these aerial shots of today's game here at the Coliseum, thanks to the crew of Snoopy 2. 1st and 10 from the 1. Collins selling the play fake and thrown down. A safety, Jason Taylor on the sack. Collins took his time, and it cost him. Miami increases its lead.
How about the Miami defense making a play? Jason Taylor coming off the top. This is what Norv Turner feared. Understanding that Jason Taylor can take over a game and change the momentum. Play action fake. He gets the sack and the safety. How about the play by Taylor? No one even blocked him.
So tack on 2 for the Dolphins, and a free kick coming. Taylor does the job for Miami on D. Live in the playoff picture. They now trail 16-7. Shane Leckler, the free punt to Wes Welker. Here's Welker trying to break free. Welker crosses the 40 and is toppled down at the 44-yard line after the 22-yard return. That's where Miami will have it. Collins absorbed the sack, and it turned into 2 points for the Dolphins. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, all new, beginning with Ray Romano's return to Monday night. He's the special guest on The King of Queens, followed by How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, and Out of Practice. Then don't miss Monday's #1 show, CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman, here on CBS, America's #1 network. On first down, handoff to Ricky Williams, breaking 1 tackle, and then driven down by Cooper from Oakland, 4-yard gain. Kelly in there as well for the Raiders.
And I watch how the protection breaks down on the safety play by Jason Taylor. Watch the tight end, Zeron Flemister. Look, he's going to look inside. He never blocks Jason Taylor. And then look at Lamont Jordan. He's supposed to chip, and he doesn't hit him. So they'll allow him to come free off the corner. No way that play is going to work if you don't pay attention to a player like Jason Taylor. You know he's coming in to get the sack.
Taylor's done a little bit of everything so far today for Miami. Deep drop, Farad able to get rid of it. Comebacker for Chambers. And he's able to haul it in. It's going to be an 11-yard gain, but a flag on the play, back of the line of scrimmage. Chambers was able to shake off whatever finger problems he was having.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 90, contact to the head of the quarterback, 15-yard penalty, and a first down.
It's all falling apart now for Oakland. Turdell Sands called for roughing the passer. And take a look at where they move the football now, to the 29-yard line of the Raiders.
And this is the moment that Nick Saban talked about when we met with him yesterday. He said our players have to understand how to finish games. He said there are moments in games where as a player you have to look to make a play and believe you're going to make a play. After getting the safety, and then with this kind of field position, to get a touchdown will go a long way in helping to accomplish that goal.
Quick snap on first down, slinging it out to McMichael. And a modest gainer of 7 yards. Ronaldo Hill in on coverage against the big tight end. So Miami, again, the flow has been there for them offensively, although they haven't produced huge numbers. No major mistakes to speak of that has changed the tenor of this game. Of course, the Farad interception, but it didn't cost them on the scoreboard. Handoff to Ricky Williams into a crowd, and look at the pile getting pushed forward. Ends up being a gain of 4 and a first down for Miami. Turdell Sands stuck his helmet in there. And a new set of downs for Miami to work with.
Oh, you focus on this situation, and as we said, I think anything less than a touchdown by Miami right now, you're still leaving the door open for Oakland. You want to take away a team's confidence, because let's face it, the Raiders have a lot riding on this game. Came in at 4-6, hoping to stay in the hunt to make the playoffs in that AFC West division.
Handoff, running Brown. And Bobby Hamilton was there to greet him. It's a loss of 2 on the play, setting up 2nd and long.
Well, can he still play or what? 11 years in the league and still being a productive player.
And coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Scores, highlights, it's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Now, you're right about Hamilton. He's just been a workman-like guy through the years, worked hard to get to this point in his NFL career. 2nd and 12, out of the gun for Farad. Not much of a rush. Farad steps up and throws it out of the end zone. Incomplete. Welsh Welker among those that he was looking for. It'll be 3rd and 12.
And guess who provided the pressure? It was Hamilton. Big number 98 coming off the right corner. Otherwise, it was good protection. But he was the one lone defender getting into the backfield, forcing Farad to throw that pass away.
So now a 3rd and 12. Fans sensing that this is a pivotal 3rd down. Starting to make some noise. Shotgun, high snap, Farad handles it. Farad under heat, sidesteps, throws, same spot. This time he makes it into the Raider Nation. Derek Burgess applying the pressure.
And that counted 6 defenders in the end zone for the Raiders. They were not going to allow that ball to be caught in the end zone for a touchdown. And so it was the coverage that forced Farrat to throw the ball away, not necessarily the pressure on that play.
And I think a guy wearing a Mark Van Egan shirt made the catch in the second row.
Well, he was a player. he was a player now.
Field goal, 38-yarder. Murray didn't get it. Wide to the right.
Leaving the door wide open. Nick Saban wants his team to understand how to put people away. Right now, the Dolphins allow the Raiders to hang with them and stay in the game.
After the missed field goal by Murray, Raiders take over a 1st and 10 at the 28. Collins throwing sideline right. And a catch made by Jerry Porter. Right at the first down marker. Looks like it's going to be just short.
Porter's working that sideline, and watch the footwork, the mechanics of Collins allows him to whip that ball over there. And look at the footwork by Porter, making sure he has the catch, and then the toe tap to pick up that first down. The athleticism of Porter. He's actually going to come short of the first down, but what a catch. 2nd and 1 for the Raiders. And Jordan able to get that second effort for a first down to the 40-yard line, a gain of 3. So they'll move the chains for Oakland, who just avoided a major swing on the scoreboard. Well, think about it. If Miami goes in for a touchdown there, you're looking at 23-7 Dolphins. Even a field goal extends the lead to 19-7. Raiders very much within striking distance, a lot of time left. And important for the Raiders offense to get something going. The defense has saved them. Offense has already given up 2 points in this quarter. Now you have to go out and get it back.
Lemonster, the motion man. Collins had a tough time taking that snap, but he's got the protection. Knocked down. Donnie Spragan able to get a piece of it. 6'5" Kerry Collins could not get rid of it cleanly. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tomorrow, an all-new late show. Don't miss Stupid Human Tricks. And Thursday, Oprah Winfrey joins Dave for a late show everybody will be talking about. Dave's all new, all this week on CBS, America's #1 network. On 2nd down with a 3-receiver formation for the ground. Jordan keeps the legs churning and is able to cross the 45 for a gain of 5. Randy Moss, Solomon, 1 catch, 18 yards so far for the Raiders.
And if you're the Miami Dolphins secondary, that's the way you like it. Now, I don't think he's 100%. And I think it's tough for a player like him to play when he's not 100% and able to run full speed and get down the field, because speed is so much a part of his game. And I think without it, you know, he's just like a lot of other players.
3rd and a short 5 now for Oakland. Can they keep this drive going? Collins throwing, flag down, intercepted by Jeremiah Bell. He was looking for Courtney Anderson, the tight end. But a penalty marker on the play. We'll see if Bell got an advantage on a push-off.
Yeah, Bell made contact with Courtney Anderson. Anderson went to the ground.
Defense, number 37. Penalized at the spot of the foul and a first down.
Watch the play. Jeremiah Bell matched up against Courtney Anderson. And there's going to be contact as they come into our frame. You see Anderson going down. There it is. He trips. I don't know if the contact was necessarily initiated by Jeremiah Bell, but there was contact.
Now it's a 19-yard penalty and gives Oakland a shot. Pump fake, throw, catch, touchdown! Doug Gabriel! And a flag on the play. Sam Madison pointing that Gabriel was out of bounds.
And the flag went up because there was some arm fighting on the play between Gabriel and Madison.
And that's what they're sorting out right now. Gabriel matched up with the veteran Pro Bowler, Sam Madison.
Illegal touching on a forward pass. Number 87 stepped out of bounds, came back inbounds and was the first to touch the pass. A 5-yard penalty.
Well,
Repeat first down.
yeah, that's wrong number, I believe, unless Whitted got a piece of it and we didn't see it.
We definitely didn't see that. Great protection this time. Look, the double pump, then the throw by Collins is on the money. Now, maybe they're saying that Gabriel stepped out of bounds. You see the official throw the hat down. That means, yes, he stepped out of bounds, and the official is marking where he actually went out of bounds. And so the hat coming off would signify that Doug Gabriel stepped out of bounds before coming back in to make that catch.
And that's exactly what Madison was telling the officials after the catch was made. And the Raiders accept it. 1st and 15. The rush and the throw. Porter unable to haul it in with Kevin Carter, who had a clean look at Kerry Collins. Time for an NFL Today update to New York. Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, thank you. At Arizona, the Cardinals kicked a field goal, and then on the ensuing kickoff, Jacksonville's Derek Wimbush, 91 yards. On the return, the Jaguars with a 17-3 lead on the Cardinals. Last 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. Ian and Solomon.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. Jacksonville with Leftwich going down early in that game. David Garrard coming in to replace him, trying to add to their 7-3 record. Collins looking for the big hitter, and it's incomplete. Randy Moss was along the sideline, and he is staring down the official with Travis Daniels, the rookie, in coverage.
And Daniels just does a good job of staying on top. But you see, Moss doesn't have the explosion to go by defenders like what we're used to seeing. We give Daniels credit for staying in front of Moss, keeping the position, getting the head around, and making a play.
Daniels, who played for Saban at LSU, taken in the 4th round, and dealing with a future Hall of Famer in Randy Moss today. 3rd and 15 now for Oakland. And a touchdown denied because Gabriel had stepped out of bounds. Collins guns on a crossing route. Gabriel. First down, Oakland, inside the 20-yard line. 23-yard pass play as Gabriel does some talking after the tackle.
And a huge 3rd down play for the Raiders. The protection holds up, and Collins, when he gets time, he delivers a strike. Receivers haven't been completely reliable today, but on this one, Gabriel's very reliable, making the catch, coming over the middle of the defense. Knows he's going to take a lick, but watch him hold on to the ball and continue to fight for extra yards.
And a 1st and 10 now at the Miami 16 for Oakland. Here's Collins in the pocket, stepping forward. Collins looking to tuck and run, and able to turn his body to absorb the hit of Reggie Howard, and he picks up 5 yards. Kerry Collins, not known for his scrambling ability.
But Collins is battling. You know, he hasn't played an overwhelmingly great football game today. He's been somewhat inconsistent, but at times he's been able to deliver some strikes, and then the receivers have failed. But right now find themselves an opportunity to get inside that red zone once again today and then turn it into a touchdown.
A lumbering run by Collins. Good for 5 yards and a 2nd and 5. Handoff to Jordan. And Jordan driven back after he hit the hole. They'll give him forward progress for a pickup of 4. Channing Crowder able to move him in the other direction. Crowder, a guy Nick Saban told us, look, he belongs inside. Obviously, he's not going to play ahead of a healthy Zach Thomas, but that's where we see him at this level.
Oh, they feel it's his natural position. He's so talented, and you talk to the coaches and say he's very bright. Did play that inside linebacker position at the University of Florida, so he's more of a natural inside linebacker. I think there's a learning curve there. No way he's going to be able to do the things that Zach Thomas was able to do over his 10-year career.
3rd and 1. Handoff. Jordan busting through. Touchdown, Oakland. Lamont Jordan with a jolt to the end zone, and Oakland draws closer.
Young linebackers tend to get nosy. Watch the cutback. See, they over-pursue the ball, and then you cut it back. Lamont Jordan sensing the aggressive nature of those young linebackers for the Dolphins and find a hole through the back door.
Extra point, Janikowski, a 10-play, 72-yard drive for the Oakland Raiders. Miami unable to cash in on the other end with a field goal attempt, and the Raiders come right back to put 7 on the board. 16-14, Miami.
On CBS is sponsored by Sony. Transform the way you watch football with Sony, the world's greatest high-definition television. And by Cadillac, introducing the new 2006 DTS. Cadillac Breakthrough.
Second rushing touchdown of the day for Lamont Jordan. That one covered 8 yards and brought the Oakland Raiders to within 2 of the Dolphins, 16-14. Miami has posted 5 straight regular season wins over the Raiders. And the kickoff, Janikowski to Welker. And Welker goes down in a heap. Out across the 20, Randall Williams down there, along with Brayton for Oakland. We'll come back. Third quarter action continues. The NFL on CBS. Nation alive and well. Apparently they do allow nachos in Raiders Nation. I never knew that until today. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Here is Farrakh throwing. Wide open. Chris Chambers cuts it back. And Chambers will be brought down out near the 42-yard line. And that will quiet the crowd after the 22-yard hookup.
And it's what Gus Farrakh told us he wanted to do, is to get the ball in the hands of his receivers with room to make a move. And look at Chambers putting the move on the defensive back. That's going to be Fabian Washington, and still able to make some yards after making the catch. I thought that Gus Farrakh moved well in the pocket, bought himself some time to make that completion.
On 1st down, handoff, Ronnie Brown. And Brown able to work himself for a 4-yard gain. Ronaldo Hill helping in run support, as he is one to do in this defensive alignment. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, a member of the CSI team gets busted in a powerful new episode that you have to see to believe. Monday's #1 show, CSI Miami, on America's #1 network. CBS, 39 yards for Ronnie Brown. Does have the rushing touchdown today. And a 2nd and 6 now for the Dolphins. Raiders crowd the line. Here they come. Farrakh gets rid of it. And Lorenzo Diamond, backup tight end, hit by Hill. 3-yard gain, short of a 1st down. And it will be 3rd down and a couple.
Oh, it's a combination of pressure and coverage. They send the blitz after Farrakh, knowing that he's going to go to Diamond on the hot read. It's a 3-step drop. You get it out there. Hill does an excellent job of knowing the ball's coming out quick, making the tackle, and don't allow the catch and the run for a 1st down.
At midfield, a 3rd and 3 for Miami. Under 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Shotgun, shovel, Brown mishandled it initially, and he's got a 1st down. Good piece of running by Ronnie Brown. A 7-yard gain.
Good piece of concentration. Watch how they flip the ball out to him. Now, see, he didn't handle it initially, then regain possession of that ball, still able to run forward, pick up the 1st down. Good blocking out front by the receivers and the guards pulling out to create room for that 1st down.
He's gotten 12 touches in the running game. Williams has gotten 8. And into Oakland territory, 1st and 10. Farrakh avoids the pressure, hits his man Brown, and another 1st down for the Dolphins. He is chased down by Tyler Brayton, and a 15-yard pass and catch.
And now you see why he was the 2nd player taken in the draft. We saw him run the ball around the goal line. We see him doing a lot of different things in this offense, but his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, when Nick Saban said, here's a guy that does a lot of things very well in terms of his versatility and a pretty good blocker in pass protection.
Down to 2:37 left in this 3rd quarter. Handoff. It's Brown, stiff arm, and dragged down by Brayton. So Ronnie Brown is going to pick up 3 for Miami. Wednesday on CBS, it's the most twisted episode yet of the new hit thriller Criminal Minds. Mandy Patinkin stars in one of the top new shows of the season, Criminal Minds right here on CBS, America's #1 network. Brown now 13 carries, 49 yards, and the touchdown. 2nd and 7. We hit the 2-minute mark, 3rd quarter. Ricky Williams is in there for the Dolphins. Farrar guns. Wide open. McMichael is in for the touchdown. Able to sidestep Schweigert and take it the distance for the Dolphins.
And this is why you want to get the ball into the hands of your weapons with room to run, because yards after the catch come at a premium. But if you can get the ball in the hands of an athlete like Randy McMichael in the open field, he can make guys miss. And so Farrar, he sees him right away. See, he is eyeballing him right away. Get it to him quick. Now watch the move on Stuart Schweigert. From then on, it's an easy walk into the end zone for Randy McMichael.
Extra point, Mare. 7 plays, 79 yards. How's that for an answer from Miami?
Really good answer. Now, this play was designed to go to McMichael from the beginning. Yeah, he looks him off, comes down. It's just a slow read, sitting down in the zone. And he understood. He just had to beat the safety, Schweigert, to get it in for a touchdown. But it was a good mix of run and pass on that possession by the Miami Dolphins. An excellent answer to that drive by the Raiders.
4th catch of the day, 59 yards for the tight end, and first touchdown through the air for McMichael. 2nd of the day for Farrar. As we head to New York, another update. Here's Greg.
All right, Ian, at Arizona, Kurt Warner brings the Cardinals close. Little play action, 1-yard touchdown pass to Eric Edwards with the extra point. Jacksonville's lead is now 17-10 early in the 4th quarter. Ian and Solomon, back to you.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. The important one for Jacksonville. Norv Turner knew the importance of this one today for Oakland. In fact, we talked to Stuart Schweigert. He said if there's any shot of even talking playoffs, they have to take care of business against Miami and then move on to the next step, which is another challenge next week at San Diego.
And Schweigert is one of those young players that we talked about that's helping this defense to improve. Had an excellent first half where he forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, even had an interception down the red zone. But I think if you were to talk to Stuart Schweigert, and we enjoyed speaking with him yesterday, tell you, hey, he has to make that play in the open field, has to improve on his tackling.
So Miami with a 23-14 advantage now. Mare the kick. Here's Carr from the 2. He's quick. Carr through a hole. Chris Carr trying to bust it to the outside. He's got speed. And Carr finally forced to the sideline by Reggie Howard.
I'll say he has speed. He was able to start and stop and still up to full speed after a couple of steps.
And a 55-yard return for Carr.
Well, really good run. It's a good read. As you see him take it here, and it's just courage. Busting it up the middle. Watch the start and stop. And then the acceleration pass of Lindo Mari and taking it over to the other side. But he gives the Raider excellent field position. Now they have an opportunity to answer the Dolphins' touchdown.
Line of scrimmage is the 43 of Miami. We are late in the 3rd quarter. Collins is sacked. Jason Taylor got him by the ankles, and it was enough to bring down Kerry Collins.
Oh, Barry Sims is just having a nightmare right now because he can't keep him out. You see he's working down here right at the bottom. Watch 65, Sims stops him initially, but then one move up and under, and they just push him right down at the feet of the quarterback. Jason Taylor having a field day with this Oakland Raider offense.
It might be a half sack for Brad Badger, the left guard.
Well, he can go over and thanks Brad. Thank you to Brad.
It gave a little shove, thought he was doing the right thing towards the ground. It just happened to be at the feet of Collins. Here's Collins, stepping and throwing, and lucky it wasn't picked off. Randy Moss was in the area. Travaris Tillman had the opportunity to come up with the INT. Channing Crowder applied that pressure on Collins. Coming up tonight, 60 Minutes. What's the biggest thing in home sales? It's the size of the homes themselves. See what the big deal is all about tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by a new cold case, then the world premiere holiday movie, Silver Bells, tonight on CBS, America's #1 network. 3rd and 18. Dolphins looking to pin their ears back, and this play is whistled dead. Miami got a lot of players to the line of scrimmage, and Oakland may have jumped. Ron Winter will get the number and pass along the information to us and to you at home as well.
But he's going to take a while before he do it.
He'll take his time.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So the false start and what really should have been a drive for Oakland to make a statement to get back into the game after the field position they were given by the Chris Carr return has really fallen apart on them. 3rd and 23 and a shotgun for Collins. And another flag. Oakland has been whistled for 9 penalties today.
False start. Offense number 85. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And that's Doug Gabriel. That's penalty number 10 against Norv Turner's club.
And Gabriel's been called a couple of times now for a false start and had to be taken out and replaced by Alvis Whitted in the second quarter of this game.
Well, Jason Taylor had dropped back into coverage, and Gabriel then reacted because he didn't expect to see it from Taylor. Miami is giving them a couple of different looks here. Now they'll back off again. Shotgun, Collins. Here's the rush. Collins throws, incomplete. Jerry Porter was surrounded by white jerseys. Late flag. They just threw the flag. The whistle had blown. You could hear the crowd building.
Yeah. And that's because they expected a flag. There were 7 players who dropped into coverage for the Miami Dolphins. Sensing a throw down the field on 3rd and long, get 7 into coverage, you'd think you'd be able to break it out
right
without making contact.
Pass interference. Defense number 37. Penalized at the spot of the foul. And a first down.
Jeremiah Bell on a 3rd and 28, Solomon.
And watch Bell. And the ball isn't even thrown well. Now, this ball just fluttered in midair. Why would you come and hit the receiver?
Yep.
The ball's going to go right into the ground. You just have to have, I think, greater poise. And I think Nick Saban saying, hey, he wasn't going to catch that ball anyway because it fell short of the receiver. But he has to be hot with Jeremiah Bell, his own player, for not really executing the play.
A 26-yard penalty and a handoff to Jordan. And Jordan is able to carry to the 30-yard line for a 5-yard pickup.
And we talk about the Dolphins not being able to finish off the opponent. After the safety, they had a possession in the red zone of the Oakland Raiders, and they missed the field goal. And now on 3rd and long, you have an opportunity to get off the field, get the ball back for your offense. Jeremiah Bell commits the penalty, and now you give the Raiders another shot to stay in the game.
On a 2nd and 5, down to 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Collins, play fake, rush, Collins, the safety valve, Jordan. And he had more yardage in front of him, stumbling down, but he picks up 9.
Got a little anxious, but he still was able to make the catch and move the chains.
And that's going to be it for this 3rd quarter. We will head to the 4th. Oakland is on the move. A penalty kept their drive alive. NFL on CBS, live from Oakland. McAfee Coliseum, start of the 4th quarter. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, our entire CBS crew with Miami in front, 23-14. Dolphins trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They've dropped 6 of their last 7. Oakland trying to get themselves back into it. First play of the 4th. And it's a 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Collins in the pocket, throwing underneath to Zach Crockett. And he'll pick up a few yards. Derek Pope, the linebacker, making the play. NFL Today, in case you missed it earlier, Boomer Esiason thinks the Chargers could go 10-6, but may not be enough to get them into the playoffs. Who's the 2nd best team in the NFL? If we're all assuming Indianapolis is #1 because they're undefeated. Well, Seattle is a team that's come up in conversation. I know Dan Marino had tossed out the Seahawks as a possibility.
Yeah, and I think Boomer made a really good point about San Diego going 10-6 and possibly not making the playoffs. That could happen in the AFC. It happened last year. You know it could happen because there's some very good teams on that side.
Play clock winding down. Collins gets the playoff on second down. Collins steps up and throws. Incomplete. Jerry Porter got his hands on it. It'll be third down for Oakland.
They had an opportunity. They took a shot. Kerry Collins liked what he saw as Porter came across the formation deep in the end zone. Let's see if he had a chance. Right through the mittens. Two hands touch the ball. If you're a receiver, you got to come down with it. Good throw. Poor execution on the other end by Jerry Porter. Ball went right through his hands and should have been a touchdown.
His second drop of the day, coming off one of his best games as a pro last week. On third down, Collins steps up. Collins trying to run. Kerry Collins sliding down for the touchdown. Who is that man?
Is that Michael Vick? This Kerry Collins doing the unexpected. And the pressure has harassed him all day. And finally, when it breaks down, the coverage turns its back to the quarterback. They never see him coming. He's able to walk and slide into the end zone. Excellent play. Watch, the pressure gets upfield. And now the coverage, they're in man coverage. They have their back to the quarterback. They don't see him coming. By the time they get turned around and are able to react, he's in for a touchdown.
His longest run on the season was 8 yards. That one covered 18 yards as Janikowski nails the extra point. Well, we knew coming in, Oakland had a number of breakaway threats on their offense. We just didn't know that number 5 was one of those guys until now. The questionable pass interference penalty on Jeremiah Bell kept the drive alive for Oakland. And then Kerry Collins, an 18-yard rushing touchdown, bringing the Raiders to within 23-21. Return man, Wes Welker. Oh, they got him. Raiders get down the field with Tim Johnson leading the charge. And it's short of the 20-yard line. Coming up, time permitting after the game, the Subway postgame show. Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up. Subway postgame show here on CBS. Certainly a different feeling inside the Coliseum now, as the pressure is back on Miami. Even though they lead it 23-21, Farrar. Able to throw, Alex Holmes, the rookie from USC. And a 2-yard gain, his first catch as a pro. National champion for the Trojans, and he picks up 2 yards.
And I think it's going to be important for this Raider defense to make tackles, because Gus Farrar on that previous possession, remember, was getting the ball away pretty quick, giving the receivers time to make some yards after the catch. And so when that catch is made, they have to be able to make the tackles for this Oakland Raiders defense.
On a 2nd and 8. Double tight end set. Hand the ball off to Ronnie Brown. And into a crowd. Ted Washington, the mammoth nose tackle, helping to make the stop. A 4-yard gain. Washington is a mountain of a man at 6'5", 365.
Yeah, but Washington comes out on those passing downs. You get to 3rd and 4, you need a pass rush. You ask Washington to come over, stand to the sideline, because you want to get the Greyhounds on that defensive line, getting up the field, trying to put pressure on Gus Farrar. And you know they're going to come after him. Let's see how he responds. He's able to get the ball down the field.
This is a 3rd and 4. Chambers goes in motion. Here comes the rush. Flag down. Farrar, free play. It's incomplete. He was looking for McMichael. Looked like the left side of the Oakland defense may have gotten a jump and offsides. DeLawrence Grant, number 59, was over there.
Offside. Defense number 59. 5-yard penalty that results in a first down.
And a mistake for the Raiders on defense, which would have forced Miami to punt.
And as a coach, you don't want to give them anything. And that's exactly what Lawrence Grant did by jumping offsides. You essentially give the Miami Dolphins a new set of downs, time to take time off the clock when you do that. And so you have to make them earn it all. Right now, you're being way too generous.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Handoff. It's Chambers getting the opportunity and able to get a 5-yard pickup. Asamoah able to make that stop from his cornerback position for Chambers, his 9th rush of the season.
And a good tackle by Asamoah in the open field as Chambers came around the end. I thought the play was well designed. Saban and his coaching staff making excellent play calls, trying to create opportunities for his players to make plays in the open field.
Scott Linehan, offensive coordinator, has been under some fire in Miami during this losing skid. Play action. Farrat steps up. Farrat throwing over the middle to Ronnie Brown. Good hands. And a 1st down for Miami out across the 40-yard line. Danny Clark, middle linebacker, makes the tackle for Oakland.
Yeah, and now the Miami Dolphins starting to get some momentum on this drive. Starting to get the kind of protection you want for Gus Farrat as he's starting to move the chains and getting a better feel. I think the more you allow Gus Farrat and any other quarterback on this level to become comfortable in the pocket, they're going to pick you apart. And right now, Gus Farrat is hitting that level.
6 straight completions for Farrat. Fake the handoff. Farrat throwing incomplete. It was Ronnie Brown who released out of the backfield and would not have been much of a gainer because of the coverage from Oakland. Bobby Hamilton laid out a lick on Farrat. And an injury to Thomas Kelly, who had slid inside today in place of Warren Sapp, placed on injured reserve yesterday. So the medical staff will go take a look at Kelly's 2nd-year defensive lineman, and we'll come back. Miami 23, Oakland 21. 11 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Dump off for Ricky Williams. And he is spilled out near midfield. Ronaldo Hill on that stop, and a 5-yard gain through the air for Miami.
5-yard gain sets up maybe a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 5, somewhere in that area for the Dolphins. And a big-time 3rd down play where they have to be able to advance the drive, but if you're the Raiders, you got to get a stop. You got to get a stop and get the ball back for your offense.
Farrat, 3rd and 5, working out of the shotgun. 4 receivers for Farrat to work with. He's got pressure from behind and sacked. Derek Burgess. He has been Mr. Sack for Oakland this season. That's number 11 for Burgess. And it puts an end to the drive for Miami.
Burgess is the guy. He closes out the deal. You'll see him coming off the top right here. Now he gets away initially, Gus Farrat does, but watch the speed, the burst of Derek Burgess. Able to run him down and trip him up for a huge sack on 3rd down.
And the punt from Donnie Jones. Carr will let this one bounce. Oh, what a kick by Jones. Miami able to touch it up inside the 5. Travis Minor getting downfield. 2nd sack of the day for Burgess in a 2-point game. Bird's eye view of McAfee Coliseum, where the Miami Dolphins lead the Raiders 23-21. Oakland, last time they were back deep in their own territory. Kerry Collins took a safety in the end zone, the sack by Taylor. Handoff to Jordan, bouncing it to the outside. He's got some room. Jordan down the sideline and scampers out of bounds. Good block by Flemister this time. And Jordan with a 26-yard burst for Oakland. 9 weeks into the TV season, only one team remains undefeated. More people turn to CBS than any other network for the best dramas, the top comedies, the #1 news magazine, and the #1 reality show, the #1 series on TV. This Thanksgiving weekend, we thank you for making CBS America's #1 network. Longest run of the season for Lamont Jordan. And it gives Oakland some breathing room. Play action. Collins, flag down, throw. Good catch made by Jordan. One-handed stab at a penalty marker, and it looks like holding right in that area that Kerry Collins was setting himself in the pocket.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Now that's Robert Gallery, and that's another penalty on Oakland. Let's head to New York. Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, at Arizona, Jacksonville running back Fred Taylor is out of commission with an injury. No problem. Look at Greg Jones. 25 yards to the end zone, 24-10. Jacksonville leads the Arizona Cardinals, coming up on 3 minutes to play, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Greg. It's looking good for Jacksonville. Trying to move to 8-3. 12th penalty of the day for Oakland. Collins able to get rid of it. And this time Jordan is unable to hold on. Reggie Howard on that corner blitz against Kerry Collins.
And the Miami Dolphins, their spots, when to come after the quarterback, Kerry Collins. But right now, I think they have to focus on Lamont Jordan, because whenever he's getting the ball, he's starting to crease this defense, whether it's running it or catching the ball out of the backfield.
And worth mentioning again, Randy Moss, 1 catch today, 18 yards. Just off the top of my head, I remember maybe 3 balls being thrown in his direction. 2nd and 20. There's Collins stepping up. Collins flutters one with a flag down. It's fielded like a punt by Sam Madison. And Madison is out of bounds. Penalty marker. Madison is first pick of the season. And let's see what this flag is against Miami. That's the early indication.
Sam Madison hadn't had a pick in his last 31 ball games, so he's hoping that the flag isn't against the Miami Dolphins.
Before the pass is thrown, illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 21. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Wow. Travis Daniels, the rookie, and the second straight drive where a penalty has just killed Miami.
And it's the thing that allows the Raiders to stay in the ball game. Has to be very frustrating for Nick Saban, because he sees his football team playing well at times, enough to win this game, but then seeing the mistakes that's allowing the opponent to hang around.
And a 1st and 10 now from the 25 for Collins and the Raiders. Long count for Collins. Steps up and guns to Moss. That's a short gainer for Randy Moss. Only a 3-yard pickup through the air. You just don't think Moss is himself physically right now?
I really don't think he is. I don't see the burst, the explosion that you need, and especially the explosion you're used to seeing from him. Now, his presence on the field, I think, does a lot.
Sure.
That's the reason why you're seeing Gabriel get opportunities to catch the ball. Porter, even the check down to Lamont Jordan, because he attracts so much attention in double coverage, he allows others to get open.
On 2nd down, in the pocket, Collins slings it over the middle to Moss. So now Moss is getting involved. The forward progress is going to take him right at the first down line for a gain of 7. Reggie Howard with coverage. And it is enough to move the chains for Oakland.
Well, that's a rare sighting. Randy Moss catching the ball over the middle.
Yeah, almost
and taking a shot.
Had to catch myself when I said it.
He was over the middle, and so showing us some different things. And you know, you talk to many of the players, even Gus Frerotte talked about him because they played together in Minnesota. He said, hey, he was an excellent teammate to have. Didn't agree with all the things he did. He said, but he's the kind of guy you'll tolerate some things because he'll make big plays.
Handoff running directly through the middle, Lamont Jordan. And he picks up 4 yards. Donnie Spragan will be given credit for the stop for Miami. And for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots. Our score, Miami with a 23-21 lead on the Raiders. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Jordan inching closer to the 100-yard mark. He's got a pair of touchdown runs. This is a 2nd and 5. Collins has the time, able to set and throw to Courtney Anderson. And it's 2 yards shy of the first down. Donnie Spragan able to bring him down. It's going to set up 3rd and short for Oakland.
Oh, it was a good tackle by Spragan. He was tight in coverage, but was on the wrong side when the completion was made, but made sure Anderson did not pick up 1 extra yard after the catch, able to drive him out of the bounds. So it's a good coverage, good tackle. Now the defense has to hold up.
Let's call it 3rd and a long 1 for Oakland, trailing by 2. Play fake. Collins on the move. Too high. He had Porter open for a first down. And with 6.5 to go in the 4th, Oakland facing a 4th down.
Huge play, and that's why if you're Spragan on 3rd down, or excuse me, on the previous 2nd down, you have to make the tackle, because as they roll out, watch, you're going to see Porter wide open. The pressure in the face of the quarterback forces Kerry Collins to overthrow Jerry Porter.
Wasted opportunity to keep this drive going and get into field goal range. Instead, Shane Leckler, who has not had a good day by his standards, or by any punter's standards, booting the ball away. Take a roll. Oh, very close to hovering around the goal line. It's a 56-yard punt, but a net of 36. 4th quarter action continues. The NFL
Is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And by the all-new Civic from Honda. It'll reverse your thinking.
An important game here for the Oakland Raiders, just trying to stay in the conversation in terms of playoff talk in the AFC at 4-6. Dolphins at 3-7. Miami 1st and 10 from the 20. Farrat fires incomplete for Chambers in a matchup with the rookie Washington. It'll be 2nd and 10, Dolphins.
Remember, the Dolphins began this game picking on the rookie cornerback Fabian Washington, beating him for their first touchdown of the game, deciding to go back there. But Farrat now has to show that he can lead the offense and try to put this game away. You see Nick Saban working the officials, trying to get that extra call.
2nd and 10. Williams is back there for Miami. Handoff, it's Ricky Williams. And he's able to carry to the 26, 6-yard gain. Jared Cooper combining with Bobby Hamilton to bring him down. NFL Today update. We head back to New York. Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, in Arizona, Kurt Warner's thrown his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. This one a 5-yarder to Larry Fitzgerald with the extra point. 24-17, Jacksonville. 2 minutes to play in regulation, guys.
Well, they're coming down to the wire there. We might be facing the same situation here. Miami 23, Oakland 21, under 6 minutes to go now, and a 3rd and 4 for the Dolphins. Operating out of the gun, Farrat throwing out across to Chambers and turns it upfield for a big gain. He was out of bounds at the 50, but he was able to get away from Morrison in a matchup that Farrat was going to take advantage of.
It's not the matchup you want. Watch Chambers come across the formation. Morrison's trying to run with him because he has no help to that side. It is the matchup you want if you're the Dolphins, because you got to expect Chambers to win, and he did. Able to make the catch, and then again picking up yards after the reception.
And he has cracked the century mark. 101 yards on 6 catches, and a huge 3rd down reception. Handoff to Ricky Williams. And Williams able to keep his legs moving for a 6-yard gain. And we hit 5 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, this is the NFL on CBS. 60 minutes will be shown in its entirety immediately following our coverage, except on the West Coast. Each team with all of their timeouts still on the board. And a 2nd and 4 for Miami. Little misdirection. It's Williams, first man through. And Ricky Williams has a first down. Rex Hadnot, the right guard, with a good block up front. And that's a 7-yard gain for Williams.
Nice run by Ricky Williams. You could see the explosion and the power coming back to his game.
And an injury out on the field. It will be Hadnot, the 2nd-year right guard out of Houston. We're going to turn him over and try to figure out what the problem is for the 6'2", 325-pounder. Well, let's get you caught up on the game summary. Early on, Brian Gilmore with the over-the-shoulder grab for the touchdown. Jordan going airborne for Oakland, but Ronnie Brown able to get the ball across the plane for the touchdown. Taylor, the safety on Collins. Oakland comes back with Jordan finding daylight. Then it's McMichael, able to fake out Schweigert for the score. Raiders behind, is that the fleet-footed Kerry Collins? It is. 18-yard run for Paydirt. And it's 23-21. Miami leading Oakland with 4:21 to go. Now Rex Hadnot is still on the field. They are looking at lower right leg of Hadnot as we check out the numbers here today. Turnovers, 2 of them for Miami. We don't see penalties up there, but it's cost Oakland 12 of them. Miami only 6, but costly ones, Solomon, to keep Raider drives alive.
And both teams doing very good in their third down offense. But the penalties, you see what Oakland has done. 12 penalties. Continue to rank at the top in terms of having the most penalties in the National Football League, right up there. What about the gutsy play of Kerry Collins so far in this game?
Well, is he going to get another opportunity to come down and lead this offense for a potential game-winning field goal or touchdown? Next Saturday, season premiere of the road to the Final Four begins with a heavyweight matchup. The defending champion North Carolina Tar Heels take on the Kentucky Wildcats, and we begin our 25th road to the Final Four here on CBS, America's #1 network. So Hadnot is walking gingerly out towards the sideline. We'll see the decision that they make on that offensive line. They already have a couple of guys inactive, Joe Berger and Anthony Alabi. They've got Alonzo Ephraim and Stalker McDougal as options, unless they make some other changes across that line. So Hadnot the starting right guard, and it will be Ephraim who steps in his third year from Alabama. First down, Miami. Williams in the backfield for the Dolphins. He'll get the call. There's Ricky Williams up the gut. And a 3-yard gain for Williams. So pushing and shoving after the play. Ted Washington in the middle of it.
Dolphins continue to eat time off the clock, and they have been able to run the ball with Ricky Williams on this possession. Of their 6 plays, 4 of them have been runs.
Oakland uses a timeout. They still have 2 remaining. 3:57 to play now in this fourth quarter. You know, Nick Saban, we talked a great deal about what this week has been like for him with the statements following the shutout loss to Cleveland. And he mentioned to us trying to build that identity. When you're a new head coach, that's what you're trying to get through to your players. And he again reiterated, it's not about how many games they have left on the schedule, how many wins they necessarily finish with. It's about doing the things they need to do to improve and then turn the corner as an organization.
If you're going to build something, I think that's lasting, particularly in the National Football League, you do have to take that approach. He's not looking to have a one-hit wonder. He doesn't expect to turn it around in one game, in 1 week, or in 1 season. But he understands that if we do it the right way, when we get it turned around, it's going to be that way for a lasting period of time.
He's also got a 5-year contract, which helps. Big hole. It's Williams. Ricky Williams to daylight for the touchdown. 34-yard rip. And just like that, Miami increases its lead.
And this is the Ricky of old. You think they're glad to have him back on the team now? I think so. Watch how they run it downhill. And he explodes. And we talked about tackling on this drive by the Oakland Raiders defense. If they were going to hold up, they would have to tackle well. Poor tackling results in a touchdown for the Miami Dolphins.
Second touchdown of the season for Ricky Williams. And his longest run of the year, 34 yards. Miami an extra point away from taking a 30-21 lead. And you have to go back to the third down throw. Kerry Collins over the head of Jerry Porter, which would have kept the drive going if he completes it, and would have changed the entire complexion of this fourth quarter.
And this could be the run to end the Raiders' hopes of making the playoffs. They block down and kick out on the end, and then the speed of Ricky Williams. It's back. It's apparent he's much slimmer in this second time around, but still has that speed and explosive nature that you're used to seeing from Ricky Williams.
Well, the disappointment of a week ago, the first time they were shut out in 29 straight games. A 22-0 loss in Cleveland, which I think is safe to say the low point of the season for Miami, an embarrassing defeat. And now you see smiles on that Miami sideline, and the reaction from Oakland. Well, question marks as to what this Raider team is all about this season. Beat the teams that they are supposed to beat.
And they're upset. Now players begin to talk amongst each other, and not on such nice terms. Tommy Kelly, see, he's upset because there was an expectation in the Raiders locker room this week. And as we sat down with the players, they said, hey, if we're going to make a step toward the playoffs, it has to start this week. It's obvious they got off to the slow start. Miami came in here prepared to play.
Yep. And Olindo Mare on a kickoff. Chris Carr to return it. No, they'll take a knee. And the Raiders will have it at the 20. Coming up tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. What's the biggest thing? Now defensively, you see a lot of frustration. And it looked like it bubbled over along that sideline. North Turner was telling his guys, come on. There's still 3:50 left on this clock. And it's a 9-point deficit. Collins, hand in his face, flag down, somehow complete to Courtney Anderson, as Vonnie Holliday got into the grill of Kerry Collins. And a 4-yard gain, penalty marker.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Now that's penalty number 13 for Brad Badger. That's his third. And it's cost the Raiders 90 yards today in mistakes.
And Badger's had his hands full trying to keep Vonnie Holliday out of the backfield, trying to keep him off Kerry Collins. Hasn't been an easy task.
So now a 1st and 20 as they back it up to the 10-yard line. Oakland looking to throw it here with Collins, Courtney Anderson, and out of bounds. He was hit by Sam Madison, a 15-yard gain. Well, the Raiders have a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, but in 3 minutes and 35 seconds, you still have the 2-minute warning. You have to have a sense of urgency on offense, that and the belief that you can take the ball down the field and score a touchdown, and then possibly get an onside kick that would help you win the game. You can't argue amongst teammates on the sideline. When there's time on the clock, you still have an opportunity to make things happen.
On a 2nd and 5, Collins, rush coming, and intercepted. Say goodnight. Lance Schulters tripped up, and that should do it.
Okay, now you can talk about it.
Well,
because that should do it. Good play by Lance Schulters, and a poor mistake by Kerry Collins.
well, now the Oakland offense can actually get involved in the conversation along the sideline.
The what happened conversation, what did happen is Collins has his eye on the receiver the whole way. This ball just flutters. I think he was trying to get the ball over to Gabriel coming across the formation, but Schulters had a position in front of the receiver, able to make that interception.
Now for Kerry Collins, his 2nd pick of the day. Miami now takes over with 3:25 to go, and a 30-21 lead. And a timeout called. Oakland will have 1 remaining. Lance Schulters A week ago, Schulters temporarily lost feeling on the left side of his body. A neck stinger. Said it was the first time it ever happened to him during his football career, but was able to practice this week, and that smile, which is an infectious grin, the 8-year veteran comes up with his 3rd interception of the season.
And it's what Nick Saban wanted. Let's finish out ball games, and they're able to do so.
Well, the AFC playoff picture, Indianapolis, Denver, Cincinnati, and New England division leaders, with Jacksonville and Pittsburgh right now in that wild card race. You got San Diego and you got Kansas City very much in the hunt in the AFC. Ronnie Brown, he fumbles the ball. Ronnie Brown has coughed it up for the 2nd time today, and Oakland gets it back. A go figure.
Well, you don't want to speak too soon. We talk about closing out football games. We thought Lance Schulters had slammed the door shut, but then Ronnie Brown opens it up again and allow the Raiders at least an opportunity to get back in it.
Stuart Schweigert is the injured Raider, and they're going to try to help him up. They're looking at that left leg, lower leg area. Schweigert, who has matured in his 2nd year and has shown good range at that free safety position. On his back.
Take a look at the fumble by Ronnie Brown. Got to protect the ball. We talk about young runners understanding the situation. See, he's hit by Jarrett Cooper, number 40. But young runners need to understand, do I fight for that extra yard? Well, if I'm near the 1st down marker, but if we have a lead in the 4th quarter, in the final minutes of the game, no, it's about ball security. It's first and foremost.
And Schweigert up on his feet. Stuart Schweigert, I'm not sure if there's this Purdue thing going around. Him and Kyle Orton with that mountain man look, that growth.
Yeah, he did talk about that when we met with him. He said he's going to have to give Kyle a call. Of course, Kyle's isn't quite grown in the way that Stewart's has.
No, that's impressive.
Very impressive.
You got to give it to him. NFC playoff picture right now: Seattle, Chicago, Carolina, and the Giants, your division leaders, with Dallas and Tampa Bay wild card teams. You got a bunch of other teams in the hunt in the NFC. So the Raiders get it back with a 1st and 10 from the 16. Airing it out. Home run ball, incomplete. Doug Gabriel, double coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Oakland. Tillman and Madison were back there.
You know, North Turner is going to take some shots, getting the ball down the field, and it's Gabriel matched up on the outside, and the ball's just overthrown. You see the safety coming over the top, so they understand what the Raiders have to do in order to get back in it.
So a 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders, trailing 30-21. There's Collins throwing, popped up and picked off. It came off of Porter and fell to Lance Schulters. Another INT for Schulters. That's number 4 on the season. And Jerry Porter has had a rough day for Oakland. Penalty marker on the play.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 52. 5-yard penalty and a 1st down.
Now Miami just can't officially go out and win it. Channing Crowder called on the hold, so that interception is negated.
Every time they take one step forward, they take another backward. So they end up in that same position, continuing to allow the Raiders to hang around. Be nice to see if the Raiders could just make a play, because the Dolphins has given them opportunities to do so.
Line of scrimmage is now the 21 and a 1st and 10 for Oakland. There's Collins. Pocket is collapsing and loses the ball. Intercepted. How about Jason Taylor and the all-around ability that he brings to the field?
You know, often we say it's all about who wants it the most. This may be about who wants it the least, because the ball just continues to go back and forth between both teams. Look at the pressure hit from the blind side. The ball comes out while the arm is behind the head of Kerry Collins.
Well, they're going to call it a sack and a fumble as Collins lost the ball. David Bowens applied the hit, and it popped free to Taylor. And that should do it with 2:56 to go. Ricky Williams, he's in there, and he's going to hold on to the football. He's brought down after a gain of 2. Oakland has 1 timeout remaining and the 2-minute warning. They'll use their timeout with 2:45 left. And for Kerry Collins, he told us yesterday there's a huge difference between being 4-7 and 5-6. Unfortunately, he and the Raiders are going to experience that feeling of being 4-7.
You know, when they watch the game tape, they're going to be, I think, sorely disappointed in their performance today, because they're going to see the fact that they had opportunities to win. They're going to see that, yeah, if we would have just taken care of our business with the turnovers, the safeties allowed, and then the drop balls and plays not made, I think they're going to be sick to their stomachs when they see that they really could have won this game and could be a mention in the playoff race.
Now, as for Miami, they'll be home for Buffalo next week and see if they can use this win to finish their season strong, as the Dolphins look to improve to 4-7. This is a 2nd and 8. And here's Williams. And again, protecting the football as all those black jerseys come firing through. And Jared Cooper actually came out of the pile with it, but the play was whistled dead. A gain of 1.5. Remaining games for Nick Saban and company. Buffalo, then at San Diego, so another trip to the West Coast. The Jets, Tennessee, and then finishing off the season on New Year's Day at New England.
Now, if you know Nick Saban, you know he's going to keep his team competitive, and they're going to continue to play hard. That's why last week's game was so shocking.
Yep, agreed. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Oakland. We'll come back to the Coliseum in a moment. Here in the 4th quarter, and the Oakland Raiders trailing the Miami Dolphins 30-21. Dolphins have 5 straight regular season wins over the Raiders. And the handoff goes to Ricky Williams, and able to pound his way to the 10-yard line for Miami. Coming up tonight here on CBS, 60 Minutes, followed by a new episode of Cold Case in the Hallmark Hall of Fame movie Silver Bells. It's all tonight, and it's all on America's #1 network, CBS. Olindo Mare on for a field goal. Missed one earlier, which is one of the reasons why the door was still open for the Oakland Raiders. This is a 27-yard attempt. Mare missed one from 38 yards away. Miami's going to use a timeout. So Mare on the season is now 14 of 18 on field goal attempts, with a long of 53, now in his 9th year in a Dolphin uniform. So a timeout taken. Nick Saban. This Miami team just trying to learn how to play right in Saban's mind, and that's going to lead to victories.
And you know he'll use some of the moments in this game to show that, hey, guys, you could have put it away sooner, but they're going to be happy. I mean, he tried to do everything right coming out here to the West Coast. You know, he said, hey, we studied on how to prepare coming out here, bringing our team out to make sure that we're prepared to play.
27-yard field goal is good for Mare. And Miami, in the absence of Zach Thomas, who knows how serious that injury is, and you know, it's our understanding it's not even the shoulder anymore. He could probably play, or would be willing to play with a harness, but it's more that high ankle sprain that's plaguing him. Junior Seau, the assumption is that that's the last time you'll see him in a Miami uniform, as Seau just wrapped up his 16th NFL season at the age of 36, and Nick Saban looking probably to move forward. He's got young linebackers, so maybe Seau gets another 1-year deal from a team that's willing to give him a shot in training camp at the veterans minimum. we'll see what happens with Seau, who has now missed, if you include all the games he'll miss this season, 17 games over the last 2 years, after missing just 9 in his first 13 seasons in the NFL. The season is over because of that Achilles tendon injury. But Seau's come out and said, hey, I'm not considering retirement. I will play again.
And I'm not going to write him off.
Yeah,
I've seen him play good football over the years, and you know he has the heart of a champion. And I think taking the rest of the season off to heal not just that Achilles tendon, but even other parts of the body, and then to get into shape as he goes into training camp, whether it's with the Miami Dolphins or with some other team. You know, with the knowledge and the work ethic that he brings and the leadership, he'll be able to fit in somewhere. I think it's just finding the right fit where he'll be able to help a football team out.
Mare on the kickoff. Chris Carr moves forward to catch it at the 5. Carr nearly broke one earlier. And this time he's ridden down as he crossed the 25-yard line for Oakland. Executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Tony Battiti. Today's game produced by Bob Dekas, directed by Kathy Barretto. Senior producer of CBS Sports and the NFL Today, Eric Mann. The director, Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. The associate directors of today's game, Corey Fishman and Sarah Rinaldi. Broadcast associate, Julie Landa. Technical manager, Steve McHugh. Technical director, Colby Bourgeois. And the audio supervisor, Phil Adler. Collins throwing out across the middle to Courtney Anderson. And Anderson's got a first down at the 40-yard line. It covers 12 yards. Now only 52 seconds left for Oakland. Now, everything that they talked about was predicated on getting this win. Then maybe the serious conversations could take place. And Channing Crowder. He's in some pain.
He is, and holding looked like a shoulder.
Where and when did that happen? As Oakland is basically playing out the clock here. And Crowder on the field in the absence of Zach Thomas starting at middle linebacker. And Crowder talked this week about what Zach Thomas has meant to him, learning how to be a professional, learning how to play the game right in his rookie season.
And he talked about how Zach Thomas was always watching tape.
Yep.
He's a guy that's always in the study room trying to get a tip and trying to get a jump on what the opponent is doing. How many times have we seen Zach Thomas drop back and get an interception? Looks like the quarterback was throwing him the ball. I think it's because of his study habits, his ability to anticipate by formation, down and distance. He knows what the offense wants to do with the ball. He's able to get there ahead of time and make plays.
And Crowder was able to get up on his own. I wonder if it was a stinger or something that gave him that quick jolt of pain.
I'm glad to see he's okay.
Yep.
Because he's a talented young football player. He is going to have a long future with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, when he was healthy at Florida, he was dominant. Now, that was the issue, though, was staying on the field, and he leaves after his sophomore year. And probably the reason why he was available in the 3rd round for the Miami Dolphins. He could turn out to be one of the real steals of the 2005 NFL draft. Stiff arm from Jordan and then ducks out of bounds with 37 seconds left. So at this point, the Raiders offensive players just padding their stats. A 4-yard gain for Nick Saban. The long flight back is going to be a little easier to handle for the Dolphins players and the coaches after the embarrassment of a week ago in that 22-0 loss in Cleveland. Final 35 seconds. Collins to the outside. Anderson stays in bounds, and only 28 seconds remain. Sam Madison with the hit, able to bring him down as the two got tied up.
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. What would you call it?
I would say that Sam Madison would not get up.
Okay.
He wants to take some time off the clock.
That's a fair assessment. Collins sets and throws to Jordan, and that'll do it. The Miami Dolphins continue their regular season dominance against the Oakland Raiders. 6 straight regular season victories as Miami gets the win here. Coming up tonight, 60 Minutes, new episode of Cold Case, and the Hallmark Hall of Fame movie Silver Bells. Well, not the day that Raider Nation expected. Miami comes into Oakland and knocks off the Raiders 33-21, the NFL on CBS.